Hello everyone, and welcome to Fictional Vortex. So we are back with an interesting series on what if Naruto became a bang baby shinobi. But before we start, I just want to remind you to please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button if you enjoy my content. Let's start the story. In the city of Dakota, 9 figures were breaking into a science facility. These people are known as the Meta Breed, a gang of juvenile gangbangers given mutant-like power from a purple gas that exploded at Dakota's docks years ago. The group included Aben, the self-proclaimed master of shadow and darkness, Hotstreak the pyromancer, Kanger the human Bigfoot, Puff the vapor girl, Onyx the walking demolition, Shiv the light weapon master, Talon the avian girl, Carmen Dillo the human armadillo, and Ferret the smell freak. The breed looked around the lab, seeing loads of equipment. Perfect. We could make some easy cash by stealing this stuff and selling them back to the suckers, Aben said as he looked around. Why are we selling them for cash when we could just easily loot cash? Hotstreak asked in irritation by doing things the hard way. Because Hotstreak, Static and his gadget boy are always there to stop us, Aben reminded him. Yeah, and sometimes the harder ways are more fun. Shiv chuckled as he looked at some equipment. Just don't mess around, Talon scolded him. Ferret approached a huge device that looked like a round metal archway. Hey guys, look at this. Ferret called the breed over. What you got, Ferret? Onyx asked. Maybe this could rake us in some easy cash, Ferret suggested as Aben saw an engraved title on the control panel, Portable Dimensional Portal. He asked himself. What do you think that means? Hotstreak asked. Don't know. Maybe we should try it out, Aben suggested as he picked up a remote device and clicked it on. Suddenly the machine started running and a portal opened in the archways. So we going in, Mon? Kanger asked. Not me, I'm out of here, Carmen said, heading for the exit only to hear a voice. Hey, who's in there? A security guard called. On second thought, I'll take the chance. Carmen changed his mind. Then let's go, Aben called as they jumped through the beam before it shut down right before the security guard entered. The breed were flying through a wormhole screaming until they landed in some kind of town during nighttime, but the buildings weren't anything like Dakota, and there didn't appear to be a word of English on any sign. Whoa, where are we? Talon asked in confusion. No clue, Shiv replied as he looked around. Suddenly they heard murderous rants coming from the distance. Die demon. You're finally getting what you deserve. Sounds like a riot. Nice. Hotstreak smirked as he ran over to see a mob and who they were busting, but he soon wished he hadn't. There stood in the center of the mob was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, 5-year-old boy wearing a torn white shirt and messed up blue cargo shorts. What shocked the rest of them was seeing all the cuts and blood that stained him. Normally the breed would enjoy such beatings, but to see a little kid getting beaten by adults seemed to have stirred something up inside of them. Talon, feeling like the responsible member of the breed, grabbed a villager about to stab the boy with a knife and pushed him against the wall. What do you think you're doing to this kid? Talon screeched. That's no kid, that's a demon, the villager barked. Demon? The breed wondered. He's the scourge of this village, the Kyuubi no Kitsune? The villager barked and suddenly felt a needle to his neck which paralyzed him. They looked, seeing 2 figures dressed in masks representing animals and other kind of garments. For breaking the 3rd Hokage's law you were to be executed. One wearing a wolf mask said as 2 more appeared to take the villager and suddenly vanished. The other villagers got up and ran. Yeah, that'll teach you not to hurt kids, Hotstreak shouted to them. The 2 in masks started walking for the beaten child, but Talon blocked their way. Where do you think you're going? Talon asked, feeling they were going to do worse to the kid than what the villagers were doing. We only want to help him, the one wearing a cat mask said calmly. Why should we trust you? Aben asked suspiciously. If it appears we harm the boy, you can kill us, the wolf-masked one answered. The cat-masked one turned to her partner. Are you nuts, Kakashi? She scolded him for his words. We don't have a choice, you go. Take Naruto to the hospital, and if they refuse, use the Sandame's name. The one called Kakashi said as his partner Yugo took the beaten child and vanished. He then looked at the 9 of them. And you come with me. Our Hokage will want to meet you. Why should we come? Quiet, Hotstreak began, but Aben put his hand on his shoulder. Ease up, Hotstreak, I think they just want to talk. So Hotstreak backed down and Kakashi led them to a large tower in the village. They entered and were escorted into an office where a really old man wearing robes and an odd hat was sitting at his desk with a crystal ball on it. Kakashi, welcome, and I see you've brought Naruto's saviors. Yes, Hokage-sama. Kakashi bowed. That'll be all. The Hokage dismissed him and he vanished in a swirl of leaves. That was cool. Shiv admitted about how he vanished. Okay, old timer, start talking. Who are you? Where are we? And what was going on? Aben asked. In order, I am Hiruzen Sarutobi, third Hokage of Konoha, the village which you are in as of now, the old man began, but before I discuss what you just witnessed, tell me who you all are. Call me Aben, the master of shadow and darkness. These are my homies Talon, Shiv, Kangar, Hotstreak, Puff, Onyx, Ferret, and Carmen. Aben introduced his team. So what was going on back there? Shiv asked. Yeah, why was that mob beating on that little kid? Puff asked. Ah, I see you've already seen Naruto, the Hokage replied. Naruto? Talon asked. Yes, Uzumaki Naruto, the container of the Kyuubi no Kitsune, the old man continued. Okay, that's the second time I've heard that word. What does it mean? Hotstreak asked in annoyance. Well, pull up a chair, and if not, stand. The Hokage began as he told them a tale of the village years ago. 5 years ago, our village was under attack by this demon creature known as the Nine-Tailed Fox. Many of our brave shinobi lost their lives defending the village from it. But one man, the fourth Hokage of our village, used a special technique to seal away the beast in the body of a newborn child that was born on that day. So you're saying that? Carmen asked. Yes, Naruto was that baby and the demon fox resides within him. The Hokage answered. So why were so many people picking on him? Onyx asked, not getting it. Well, the fourth Hokage wanted Naruto to be seen as a hero, but the people see him as the fox itself in human form, unable to tell the difference between the jail and the jailer itself, he continued. Those bastards, Aben growled. And people call us monsters, Carmen added. Now if you please, what are all of you, and how did you come to our village? Sarutobi asked. So Aben spoke on behalf, saying that they were loners and acquired their strange powers from the Big Bang where they lived in. He kept out the fact that they were renegades, not wanting to already make enemies here. Instead, he said they were looked down upon because of their powers and the way they looked. That got the Hokage thinking they were more like Naruto. I see. Sarutobi said. So what's going to happen to Naruto now? Talon asked in concern. Well, the boy lives alone. Aside from me and select Jonin and Chunin ninja, we do what we can to keep him happy, Sarutobi continued. I even announced a law that will be to execute anyone if they were to tell the younger generation of what Naruto has inside of him. Lotta good it's doing him. Hotstreak replied on how it didn't work. I can only blame myself by not being there for him enough. The old man sighed in guilt. Aben thought long and hard about this and reached a decision. You know what, we're gonna help him. What? Sarutobi's head shot up in surprise. What? The breed gasped in confusion at their leader's declaration. No child deserves to be treated like this, even if he does have a demon sealed in him, Aben explained. Aben, while I'm all for helping the boy, we aren't ninja, Talon pointed out. Still doesn't mean we can't toughen him up a little and show him how to defend himself, right? Shiv asked. Right on, Mon. Kangar agreed. Yeah, with us as his teachers he'll be able to take on anyone, Puff said proudly. Well, it's good to see how much willing you are to help someone who you just met, Sarutobi smiled. Kids a lot like us, old man, and we take care of our own, Aben answered. After a long talk, they headed for the hospital and saw Naruto and the woman Yugo waiting outside. Thank you, Yugo, for helping Naruto. Sarutobi thanked her. Hi, Hokage-sama, she says and looks down to Naruto and pats his head. You take care now, Naruto-kun. Thank you, Neko-chan. Naruto thanked her as she vanishes in a swirl of leaves. Naruto's attention turns back to the Hokage and the 9 people who were with him, and surprisingly he wasn't scared by their appearances. Given how he's been constantly tormented by villagers since he was born, the 9 didn't seem as terrifying compared to the villagers. Naruto, I'd like to introduce you to the people who helped save you, the old man started. This is Aben, Talon, Hotstreak, Onyx, Ferret, Shiv, Puff, Kangar, and Carmen. Pleased to meet you, kid. Aben shook Naruto's hand. Same here, and thanks for saving me from those bad people, Naruto said. We'd also like to have a word with you, Naruto, so please come with us, Talon said. Before Sarutobi begun to walk, he found himself in one of Aben's shadow portals and soon found himself on top of another building. Phew, I'm getting too old for this. The old man breathed hard. Wow, that was cool. Naruto cheered. That ain't nothing, kid. Look at this, Hotstreak said, creating a fireball in his hand. Yeah, that's cool and all, but so's this, Talon says as she flew around, and pretty soon the others were showing off their powers. You guys are awesome. Naruto cheered. Indeed, they're Naruto. Sarutobi agreed. Old man, about what one of the villagers said back there, is it all true? Naruto asked, looking a little sad. Sarutobi sighed, knowing he couldn't hide the secret anymore. Not all of it, he began. 5 years ago, when the demon fox attacked our village, the Yondaime couldn't kill it. Instead, he sealed it away inside of you, Naruto, hoping you would be seen as a hero, but I'm afraid the people here are too blind to see that. Naruto looked down a little, but raised his head, smiling. It's okay, Gigi, I won't hold any of this against you. Is he always this happy? Hotstreak asked. Naruto's always been a hyperactive knucklehead. Sarutobi explained with a chuckle. Ah, now you're making me blush, Gigi. Naruto laughed. Aben then approached Naruto and the boy looked up at the Shadow Man. Listen, Naruto, me and my partners have a proposition for you. Really? He asked. Yeah, we want to train you and teach you how to stand up for yourself when no one else will. Aben continued. But how? I mean, I can't do stuff like you guys, Naruto said. Then a chilling voice rung in the air, maybe you can. Suddenly the space was warping and they found themselves in a huge dark room where in front was a giant cage with a seal on it. Could this be? The old man thought. Hey guys, I got this feeling, Carmen said in worry. You got a rash again, Mon? Kangar asked like he heard it before. No, not that, something else. Carmen continued, feeling uneasy. Suddenly heavy breathing came from the cage and a huge pair of red eyes appeared with a malicious grin to go with it. What the hell is that thing? Hotstreak asked in fright while backing away from the cage. You got nothing to fear, Pyromancer, I can't harm anyone while behind this cage, not that I even would. The creature replies. So Kyuubi, it really is you, Sarutobi said as he stood his ground. Of course it's me, old man, would I be anyone else? The demon fox asked. Now where's the boy? Naruto stepped forward. So you really are sealed inside me? Naruto began and started looking up at it angry. Why the hell did you have to attack this village? It's never done anything to you. Believe me, kid, it wasn't my choice, someone set me up, the fox replied. Set you up? Naruto asks while the old man was more shocked to hear a demon being set up. That's right, this masked man used some form of hypnosis on me and made me attack your village. Believe me, I find it no fun to cause chaos for no reason. Heck, I'd have rather been in hell gambling with the other demons sealed there. If I may, Kyuubi, you said before it would be possible for Naruto to use the abilities of his new teachers. How is that possible? Sarutobi asked. You're talking to a demon old-timer, he reminded the old man. I have powers beyond the capacity for human understanding. So how can you help me perform the abilities Aben and the others have? Naruto asked, eager to know. Well, young kid, I happen to have sealing abilities as well. With my powers of sealing, I can seal portions of their powers within you, giving you their abilities. However, it cannot work unless the others cooperate in this. He looked past the bars to the meta breed. Aben was the first to speak up. Why not? This'll make training Naruto much easier. Well, there's no way I'm abandoning a child like this, Talon agreed. While I enjoy being the only fire manipulator, I guess having another one couldn't hurt. Hotstreak stepped over. Well, I'm in. Shiv added. I'm way in. Carmen approached. Count on me, brother. Kangar pumped a fist up. Sure thing. Ferret agreed. How about it, Puff? Onyx asked his old friend. You know it, Puff agreed. Good, now place your hands on the seal together. Kyuubi instructed them and they placed their hands on the seal and on top of each other. Now boys, stand before me. Kyuubi instructs Naruto, who does so while the Hokage stood back. Powers of heaven, earth, and hell, hear my call. Grant unto this boy the powers of all. The Kyuubi roared as energy poured from the 9 who were straining to contain their pain into the seal, and it was projected as a beam into Naruto, who screamed in pain as the powers mixed with him. The seal is set. May you use your new talents well, kid. The Kyuubi said as the room vanished and they were all back on the roof of the building. Man, that sure takes it out of you. Aben rubbed his side while his team regained their strength. Did it work? Shiv asked, looking at Naruto. Naruto held out his right hand and concentrated until a fireball formed in his hand. Then he spouted wings like talons from his arms, a long snout like ferrets, a shell like carmines, huge feet and long legs like kangaroos. His left arm became a light energy knife, and a shadow portal formed behind him. That good enough? Puff asks Shiv, who nods, feeling convinced. Naruto then powered down as Aben approached him. So what about my offer, Naruto? You down with us? He extended his hand. Naruto smiled and grasped it with his own. You bet I am. Aben turned to his crew. This kid's gonna make one hell of a bang baby. The breed nodded while the Hokage smiled and thought, and a swell Hokage one day. Thus Naruto's beginning has started. The breed has put aside their lust to look out for number one to help this boy in becoming the best ninja there is. When morning came, Naruto got up after his long night. He showered, changed, had his morning ramen, and headed out to a training ground where the breed was waiting for him. Sandaime set them up in a temporary place. They waited for Naruto, and soon enough the boy showed up. Morning, guys. Naruto said. Well, Naruto, you ready for your first day of training? Aben asked. You betcha, Aben-sensei. Naruto answered. Aben-sensei, nice. Aben thought. So anyway, first we're gonna teach you how to control your new powers, then later on show you interesting ways to use them. And after training we're going to get you some new gear, Shiv added. Okay. Naruto agreed with this schedule. First we'll start off with my abilities, Aben began. With my powers you can fade into walls, and travel along shadows, even use shadow portals to teleport places. Watch me. Aben sunk into a portal and suddenly reappears behind Naruto. Wow. Naruto gasped. The portal is very handy, however the place you wish the portal to lead you all depends on where you want to go around here or elsewhere, Aben explained. I understand. Naruto nodded. Okay kid, now you give it a shot, try to appear over there. Aben pointed to a tree. Naruto concentrated and formed a shadow portal behind him. He walked into it and it vanished. The portal reappeared by the tree and he exited out of it. Not bad, Aben replied, feeling impressed. Now sink into the ground and travel along it. Naruto then concentrated as he sunk into the earth, looking like a shadow that moved all over the place until he rose up from it. Perfect, you really know how to handle it. Aben applauded. Thanks. I was able to learn how to control my chakra through this chakra guide for beginners. He held out a book labeled that. Hotstreak then stepped in. All right kid, now you're learning from me, Hotstreak, and how to manipulate fire. Sure thing, sensei. Naruto nodded. Okay, hold out your hand and ignite a fireball, Hotstreak commanded, and Naruto did exactly like he did last night. Good, now aim it at that wooden dummy. His sensei commanded and he threw it like a baseball and the dummy burnt up. Good throw. Hotstreak complimented. Now try igniting again, but this time ignite like you're blasting it. Okay. Naruto said as he held out his arms, concentrating hard, and soon 2 blasts of fire blasted from his palms and incinerated 2 training dummies. Smokin', Hotstreak whistled. And within the hour Talon taught him how to use the wings on his arms to fly, and generate a harpy whale. Shiv showed him how to create light energy weapons such as arm swords, kunai, shurikens, and some basic stuff like poles, mallets, shields, etc. Puff taught him how to turn his legs into a vapor that can get him to hover around, especially using his breath to emit melting vapor, or smoke, but she warned him to be careful of water, for being soaked could wear out his vapor. Onyx taught him about using his newfound colossal strength to fight anyone one-on-one, and both wrestled it out to see how he did, and surprising Onyx was beaten after Naruto tried at least a dozen times. Carmen taught him how to curl up into his new shell and launch himself like a cannonball at targets, or roll away from danger. Ferret taught him how to use his new improved sense of smell to sniff out incoming enemies, as well as sense of certain objects so that he will be familiar with their certain scents. And finally he was hopping along the training ground with his new giant-sized feet and long legs with Kangar. This is awesome! Naruto shouted as he was hopping higher and farther with Kangar by his side. Just remember, little Mon, not to get your legs tangled up, otherwise this power will be useless, and more importantly watch how hard you hit the ground. If your enemies saw your feet print they could easily find you, Kangar explained. Thanks, Kangar-sensei. Naruto said as they took a break and Naruto shrunk his feet and legs back to normal size. You learned well in one day, kid. Shiv noted. Thanks, I'm a fast learner. Naruto replied. Well, a fast learner like you needs new gear. Hotstreak, you and Shiv take him to this place to get some new threads. Aben said, handing the fire user a card with an address on it. You got it, Aben. Shiv, Naruto, let's roll. Hotstreak says they took off. It's incredible at how much he's learned in just one day. Talon watched Naruto go off with the two. Old man said he was a stamina freak. Aben reminded her. If he keeps this up, he could be better than us, Ferret added. Let's not go that far. Aben warned him. Still, Mon, there's a problem. We cannot live here forever. Kangor warned him. Kangor's right, I mean, what about going home? Carmen asked. Don't worry, I got a feeling with the way and time this kid learns, he won't need us after then, Aben answered. Meanwhile, back in the village, the two teenage guys lead the boy around the village, ignoring the scowls and frowns most of the villagers were giving him. They finally stopped at a place called Higarashi's Ninja Supplies. This is the place, Hotstreak said as they entered. The store had ninja weapons of all kinds, shinobi gear, ninja tools, and all the basics. Hi, welcome to Higarashi's, I'm Zane. A man behind the counter greeted them. Hey, think you can help our little pal here? He needs some new gear. Hotstreak showed him Naruto. The owner looks at Naruto and smiles. Of course, Tenten, he called. Then from around back came a girl age 6, with brown hair done up in 2 buns, chocolate-colored eyes that looked good enough to eat. She was dressed in a pink sleeveless shirt and green pants. Yes, Daddy? She asked. Can you help our young friend find some attire while I speak with the two gentlemen here? Zane asked. Sure thing, she says and turned to Naruto, who smiled while sporting a faint blush on his cheeks. Let's go. She escorted him around. The two meta-humans looked at the owner, knowing he knew something. Yeah? Shiv asked. I heard it was you and several others who helped the boy last night, Zane said. Yeah, so you want to bust him too, because me and Shiv won't let you, Hotstreak warned him with a frown. No, it's not like that. I do feel bad for Naruto, he explained, putting Hotstreak at ease. I find it horrible the way the villagers treat him, when I know he's really just a boy who's never had love or friendship. Well, at least there are people like you who see past all that what he went through, Hotstreak replied. Hey guys, Naruto called. The three turned to see Naruto standing behind them wearing black shinobi sandals, blue pants, a black muscle shirt, a black short-sleeved trench coat, a kunai holster strapped to the bottom of his right leg. On the back of his waist was a small pouch capable of holding small ninja weapons like shurikens or scrolls, and a pair of extra dark sunglasses that shields his eyes. We got ourselves a winner. Shiv replied. We'll take it. Hotstreak added, paying Zane with some money Naruto got from the Hokage. Thank you for shopping. Zane said. Come back again soon. Tenten added as she pecked Naruto on the cheek, which made him turn red, which didn't go unnoticed by the two meta-humans and the shop owner. See ya, Naruto said as he rushed out with Shiv and Hotstreak. Zane then looked down to his daughter. So Tenten, what do you think of Naruto? I think he's a very sweet boy. I just don't know why a lot of the others kids make fun of him. Well, maybe one day you'll find out why, Zane said, hoping she won't turn out like the others and look down on Naruto if she ever found out. As Hotstreak, Naruto, and Shiv walked around the village, Naruto stopped and looked onto the playground, seeing a little girl his age with blue hair and pale white eyes being picked on by some other snobby girls her age. Being Naruto, he walked for them while his two senseis stood back wondering how he'd handle it. Hey, Naruto called, and the girls turned to see Naruto. They almost didn't recognize him if it weren't for his whisker marks. Well, if it isn't a freak, one said. I'm going to give you one warning to leave that girl alone, Naruto firmly warned them. Or what? A second one asked cockily. Or else this, Naruto said as he transformed his right arm into a giant pair of scissors. I know how much you girls love your hair. It'd be a shame if you were to suddenly go bald. He grinned as his scissor hand makes a few snips sounds. At that moment the snobs ran for their lives screaming. Naruto then approached the girl. Hi, are you okay? He asked, helping her up. Hi, arigato, the girl stuttered. Uzumaki, Naruto Uzumaki, at your service, Ms. What is your name? Anyo Hyuga Hinata, she says softly. Well, Hinata-chan, would you like to be my friend? I'll be yours in return. He asked with a foxy grin. You'd be my friend? She gasped with a faint blush. Naruto then pinky locks his finger with hers. Believe it, he replied, which got Hinata blushing several shades of red. Hinata heard her father call her over and she goes over to him. Lord Hiyashi Hyuga looked toward Naruto and a smile grew on his face as he walked off with his daughter. Shiv and Hotstreak approached the boy. Shiv-sensei, Hotstreak-sensei, did you see how I handled the situation? Well, kid, not exactly how I woulda handled it, but it was good enough, Hotstreak replied. Are you kidding? It was brilliant. Shiv protested. Now I know what to do if Talon tries to boss me around. He chuckled. After a while they met up with Aben and the rest of the gang, where Naruto went on and on about how he saved Hinata's life. While Aben secretly wasn't at all thrilled about saving lives, he couldn't help but feel happy for the boy, seeing this as the kind of stuff that motivates him. For the rest of the day the breed taught him some more skills on how to use their powers, such as Aben using his shadow binding to wrap his opponents in his own shadow, as well as Hotstreak showing him how to use fire to make him blast off into the air. Pretty soon Naruto had down every stunt and move that could make him the baddest meta-human there was. So how are you feeling, Naruto? Aben asked. Worn out from the training, but it was worth it, Naruto admitted while panting. Good to hear, because it's time my crew and I went home, Aben explained. You mean you're leaving after one day? Naruto asked, looking a little sad. Afraid so, kid. We got our own home to go to, Hotstreak added. But what about my training? Naruto whined. Listen, Naruto, Aben got down to Naruto's level. We taught you all we know. Now the rest is up to you. How you use our powers is all up to you. Expand on them. Find new ways in which we never thought of using them. Can you do that? Naruto fought his tears and smiled. You bet I can, sensei, believe it. Aben smiled beneath his shadowy appearance and patted Naruto's head. That's my homie. Hotstreak pounded it with Naruto. You take care, little guy. Will do, Hotstreak-sensei. Talon got down to Naruto's level and hugged him. Take care, Naruto, and don't let what other people say get to you, because you are not a demon. Thank you, Talon-chan, Naruto said, causing the avian girl to faintly blush. Puff and Onyx patted him on the back. You watch yourself, kid, Onyx said. Yeah, and watch out, because that Hinata girl may be coming after you when you get older, Puff added. What do you mean? Naruto asked, feeling clueless. You'll find out, Puff replied. Shiv and Naruto pounded as Shiv spoke. Keep up with some of the great jokes on others, that'll scare them off. You got it, Naruto replied. Take care, kid, and be careful with what you smell with that new sense of smell. Some stuff may be nasty. Ferret gave him one last piece of advice. Thanks for the tip, Ferret-sensei. Carmen then patted Naruto's shoulder. Take care of yourself, kid, and remember to get your 4 squares a day, or in this case 8. He chuckled. No problem with that, Carmen-sensei, Naruto replied, knowing how much ramen he eats. And finally Kanger approaches the boy squatting down. Take care, little mon, and be sure not to trip on your own feet, believe me, that hurts. I'll keep that in mind, Kanger-sensei, Naruto nodded. Well, ninja, we'll catch you later, Aben said, pulling out the remote to the portal they entered through. He pressed it and another portal appeared and they entered through it. When the portal vanished, Naruto stood there smiling. Thanks, guys, he said, walking away and back to the village to his favorite ramen stand, Ichiraku's, one of the few places he was welcomed with open arms. Naruto entered the place and the old man and his daughter noticed him. Welcome, Naruto, we were wondering where you've been, Tucci began. Nice clothes, by the way. Thanks, Gigi, and I was kinda out training with some of my friends, Naruto said as he had his first bowl of ramen. Really? So what did you train for, Naruto-kun? Ayame, Tucci's daughter asked curiously. Well, they were training me on how to control some of my abilities, he answered. What kind of abilities? She asked. Can really tell you, you know, top secret. I understand, she replied. Soon after, at least a dozen bowls, Naruto finally paid for his meal. Naruto, with you around we'll never go out of business, Tucci chuckled. Don't worry, when I become Hokage I'll make you two my personal chefs, Naruto replied. The two smiled, knowing how that's his life's ambition. When Naruto was about to leave he turned back. Hey, you wanted to know what kind of powers? Well, here's one of them, he said as a shadow portal appeared behind him. Naruto turned around and took on Aben's appearance as entered the portal that vanished into thin air. Dad, what just happened to Naruto-kun? Ayame asked her father. I don't know, Ayame, but one thing's for sure, Naruto's going to be all right. Tucci smiled. It has been 7 to 8 years since Naruto obtained his new powers from the meta breed. During those years he's continued to acquire better control over all his powers. With Aben's shadow powers and Ferret's sense of smell, he avoided any villager or ninja intending on killing him. And with Talon's flying ability, Carmen's rollout routine, and Kangor's jumping ability, he didn't have to walk plainly like any other villager. Over the time he's become good friends with Tenten, who was already a kunoichi with a squad composed of a man named Might Guy who had big eyebrows and bad haircut as her sensei, one boy named Rock Lee who was like a junior version of her sensei, and another boy named Neji who was a cousin of Hinata, the girl he made friends with. He also grew close to Hinata as well as her younger sister Hanabi, which Hiyashi had no problems with because he knew that Naruto was the source of his daughter's improvements. One morning he was getting ready to go to the ninja academy with Hinata and her sister, who had good enough skills to be admitted despite her age. 13-year-old Naruto woke up that morning, got a good shower, dried himself off, and got changed into his gear, which was the same kind of attire he picked out years ago, only bigger sized, from his black shinobi sandals, blue pants, black muscle shirt, black short-sleeved open trench coat, extra dark and big sunglasses. After he got changed he made himself breakfast. After his training with the breed, Talon taught him the importance about eating healthy and not always have your favorite meal all the time. That was good, Naruto said as he did his dishes and looked at his clock reading 9 a.m. Well, I don't have to be at the academy for at least another hour, but still I could use a little morning exercise. He donned his sunglasses and walked outside. He looked down the road in the direction of the academy. How should I travel this time? Shadow portal. Nah, that's too quick. Flying. No, why risk people shooting me? Rolling. Nope, then I won't see where I'm going. I know, I'll use Kangor-sensei's hopping, he said as he made his feet grow along with his sandals and his legs lengthen. Well, time to roll. He begun hopping to the academy while Jamaican music played in the background. Meanwhile, outside a village pub, certain jonin such as Asuma Sarutobi, Kurenai Yuhi, Anko Mitarashi, and Kakashi Hitaki, demoted back to jonin by his own free will, were standing around gossiping. So I hear this year the students at the academy are almost ready to graduate, Anko said, taking a bite out of some dango. I heard the students seem to be the best in years, Asuma added as he puffed some smoke from his cigarette. Especially since there are 2 students in tie for the position of Rookie of the Year, Kurenai added. Yes, Uchiha Sasuke, the sole survivor of the Uchiha clan, and Uzumaki Naruto, that boy of many powers, Kakashi added as his nose was deep in his orange book, which peeved Kurenai and Anko off that he would read that smut in the presence of ladies. Before Kurenai could do something, Anko spoke up. Hey guys, look who's jumping our way, she said with a sadistic smile. The jonin turned to see Naruto hopping down the road with many other villagers staying out of his way so not to get squashed. While he jumped along he was rapping a tune to himself. This is how I roll, everybody watch it, here I go. Go. This is how I roll. Soon he saw the 4 jonins and stopped as he landed in front of them. Morning, senseis. Naruto greeted them. Good morning to you too, Naruto. Kurenai greeted him. Yagaki, top of the morning to ya. Anko added as Naruto grows his ferret snout and sniffed the air. Fresh smell of dango and a hint of blood. I could smell you a mile away, Anko-sensei. Watch it, Gaki, or do you want to be Snake Chow? Anko asked. Ready, release some snakes. No need to waste them on me, Naruto answered as he looked to Asuma and Kurenai and gags while plugging his huge snout. Oh man, Asuma-sensei, you smell like cigarettes, and this is a stronger kind. He groaned. Man, Ferret-sensei told me to watch what I inhale. It just may be the worst thing I'll ever take a whiff of. You know he's right, Asuma, Kurenai lectured him. What, it's like how Kakashi's into his book, Asuma said. Another bad influence on others, Kurenai replied, which Kakashi didn't even respond to without a care. Naruto, when you grow up don't turn out like these 2, not even Guy, Anko warned the young boy. Naruto shrinks his snout, making his face normal again. Don't worry, I have no intention of becoming like them. Naruto smirked as he fixes his sunglasses a bit. So anyway, Naruto, why are you up so early? Your classes don't start for at least another hour, Kakashi said. Well, I figured I'd get some morning exercise in before class. After all, Kangar-sensei told me to get as much exercise on my feet as I can. Well, hope you get enough experience for the day, Kurenai said. I sure will. Now if you'll excuse me, I gotta roll, Naruto said as he continued to jump away heading for the academy, rapping, "This is how I roll. Everybody watch it, here I go. Go. This is how I roll." That kid will make one hell of a ninja, Anko said as the other three nodded. Half an hour later, outside the academy, Hinata and her younger sister Hanabi waited for Naruto to show up. In a matter of minutes he landed before them and shrunk his feet back to normal. "Morning, Hinata-chan and Hanabi-chan. How are you two this morning?" he asked. "Very well, Naruto-kun," Hinata replied. "Yes, Naruto-kun, we're both great," Hanabi answered. "Well, we better head in, otherwise Iruka-sensei's going to make us do the henge jutsu again," Naruto said as he led them inside. "If we do, Naruto-kun, could you please not perform that repulsive Oiroke no jutsu of yours?" Hanabi asked. "But it was so funny the way he passed out from the blood loss," Naruto chuckled. "But she's right, Naruto, we'll be graduating soon and I don't want you to fail anything," Hinata says, worried for him. Naruto smiled at her. "You're cute when you care." And this got Hinata blushing several shades of red while Hanabi huffed. "Hey, what about me, Naruto-kun?" she asks, putting his hands on her hips. Naruto looked down at her and pinches her face, which got her blushing. "You're cute too, Hanabi-chan." Soon they entered the classroom where other students were gathered, such including Nara Shikamaru. A lazy boy who appears to be smarter than he looks, Akamichi Choji, a stout boy munching from a bag of chips, Inuzuka Kiba and his little pup Akamaru. Close to the front was a pink-haired banshee named Haruno Sakura, who has no real talent in ninja skills except in tests. Along with her was Yamanaka Ino, a blonde-haired bossy girl. Both girls were in a cat fight over who should sit next to Uchiha Sasuke, the brooding duck-butt-headed boy whose family was massacred by one of his own. "Morning, lazy bones, big man, K-dog," Naruto addressed the three. "Hey," Shikamaru replied in his lazy tone. "Morning, Naruto," Choji greeted between munches. "How's it going?" Kiba asked. "Sweet as always," Naruto replied as he, Hinata, and Hanabi moved down to one of the desks closest to the front where Sakura, Ino, and Sasuke were. "Hey Pinky, Blondie, Teme," Naruto chuckled after his greetings. Their reactions were both banshees throwing a fit at Naruto, and all Sasuke could say was, "HMPH," so Naruto took a middle seat while Hinata took the left of him and Hanabi took the right. Sakura and Ino decided to bash at the three for a bit until their sensei arrived. "What do you two see in that blonde baka anyway?" Sakura asked in a snotty tone. "Yeah, he's just a doby who'll never amount to anything like Sasuke-kun," Ino added, defending Sasuke's honor, which he didn't care what she did. The two Hyugas turned to the banshees. "I think the bigger question is, what do you two see in that emo ass?" Hanabi spoke and Hinata nodded. "Don't you talk about Sasuke-kun that way," Sakura wailed. Ladies please. Iruka-sensei's right there." Naruto pointed to the front to see their instructor, which is a man with a scar across his nose, and another instructor with short white hair. "Good morning, class." Iruka greeted them. "Good morning, Iruka-sensei," the students greeted back. "Well, class, today we will be testing your skills with shurikens, kunais, and one-on-one sparring," the white-haired man instructed. "Yes, Mizuki-sensei," they replied. So the two led the students to the training field where stumps with target were set up. Now everyone was told to bring their own set of shurikens and kunais. Iruka says as everyone pulls out their pouches that held their weapons. Hinata and Hanabi saw Naruto didn't bring his pouch. "Naruto-kun, you didn't bring your weapons?" Hinata asked. "No, because I don't need them," Naruto replied with a confident smile. "If you say so, Naruto-kun," Hanabi said. When it came down to Naruto's turn, Iruka and Mizuki saw he didn't have any. "Naruto, you were told to bring your own supplies," Iruka scolded him. Sasuke smirked. "Looks like the doby forgot to pack them." Naruto looked back at him. "Aw, shut your mouth, stupid, and anyway, Iruka-sensei, I didn't bring them because I don't need them." This got Iruka confused. "Don't need them? Naruto, you baka, there's no way you can hit a target without shuriken," Sakura nagged. "If you'll just shut up for a minute, bubblegum, I'll show you what I mean," he said as he concentrated energy into his hand making light shurikens. Whoa. The guys gasped while Sasuke frowned at the sight of him doing something he can't. Don't blink now, Naruto said, flinging each of them landing dead on the target. Excellent Naruto, 10 out of 10. Iruka said, feeling impressed. Nothing to it. How the hell did you do that? Sakura screeched, which Naruto didn't seem fazed by it. Naruto uses his pinky to clear out one of his ears before responding. Sorry Sakura, cannot tell you. I mean, even I have my secrets, no? Mizuki, who hid a frown, replaced it with a smile. Well, now that target practice is completed, let's move on to sparring. Naruto sat by watching those who were called up to fight. He watched as Hinata beat Sakura with no difficulty, not even needing to use her Byakugan. Hanabi was matched up against Shikamaru. Needless to say, the guy didn't even want to fight because 1. He was fighting a girl, and a little one at that, and 2. It was too troublesome. Uzumaki Naruto. Uchiha Sasuke, you're next. Iruka called. Naruto removed his trenchcoat and threw it to Hinata and Hanabi, who cuddled with it. So the two stepped onto the battlefield where loads of Sasuke fangirls were cheering and squealing for their dear Uchiha. You know, Sassman, you got so many fangirls you could just as easily restore your clan, Naruto says with a smirk. Sasuke frowned and replied in a soft enough voice so they wouldn't hear, not with them. Oh well, your loss, Naruto began, and speaking of loss, don't be too ashamed when I win. Who said you're going to win? Sasuke asked while frowning. Me, of course. Naruto answered bluntly. I'll make you eat those words, Sasuke growled, which caused an uproar of female squeals. Hajime. Iruka called. Sasuke rushed for Naruto with no second thought. This is too easy, Naruto thought as he sunk into the ground like a shadow, causing Sasuke to miss his punch. Naruto emerged from behind Sasuke with a giant muscular purple arm like onyxes and slugged Sasuke, sending him crashing onto the field. Sasuke-kun. The fangirls cried while glaring at Naruto, who didn't even notice. Had enough, duck butt? Naruto mocked. Sasuke got up growling and went through hand signs. Kaden. Gukakyu no Jutsu. He shouted, sending forth a stream of fire which grew into a huge fireball ready to impact on Naruto. Naruto-kun. Hinata and Hanabi cried. Sasuke smirked. I've won. Then he gasped in disbelief as he saw Naruto covered by a fire barrier that died down once his fire jutsu died off. Bad move, Teme. You play nasty with fire like that, you'll get burned. He conjured fireballs in his hands and lunged them forward, blasting at Sasuke, who just managed to dodge it, but not without getting a few burns on his shirt. You might want to call the match now, Iruka-sensei. Sasuke's all tied up now, Naruto called as he created light energy cuffs which cuffed Sasuke's arms and legs. But to Naruto's surprise, Sasuke was replaced with a log. Kawarimi, huh? Naruto asked, slightly impressed. Naruto turned to see Sasuke right on top of him, ready to deliver a roundhouse kick, but Naruto knew how to handle him. Naruto took in a deep breath and released his harpy scream on Sasuke, causing him to lose focus and fall to the ground. You should have brought earplugs. Naruto chuckled while on the side Hinata and Hanabi giggled. Sasuke, growling with anger, got to his feet. This doby's making fun of me, he thought as he charged at Naruto in a blind rage. He was so focused on Naruto's face he didn't notice Naruto's giant feet. So Naruto, who didn't even have to move, just spun kicked Sasuke, causing him to fly back and crash into a tree. Iruka knew this had to end. This match is over. Uzumaki Naruto wins by KO. The many of Uchiha fans gathered around their precious Sasuke, while Hanabi and Hinata walked up to Naruto. Congratulations, Naruto-kun, that was awesome. Hanabi congratulated him. Thanks, Hanabi-chan, Naruto said as he saw Hinata holding out his trench coat. Here's your coat back, Naruto-kun, she handed it to him. Thanks for holding it, Hinata-chan, Naruto said, taking it and donned it. Iruka cleared all of Sasuke's fans away. Well, this concludes our lesson for today. Class dismissed while I take Sasuke to the hospital. He took Sasuke off. When Mizuki left, the entire squad of rabid fangirls turned to Naruto with ticked looks. You girls should watch what kind of faces you make. Make one like that more often and you'll have wrinkles by age 20. Naruto joked while all the other male students were so afraid seeing the rabid fangirls running for Naruto, ready to beat the hell out of him. Anybody up for a game of bowling for fangirls? Because I am, Naruto called as he grew his shell and curled into a ball where he launched himself. The fangirls weren't fast enough and were bowled over. Naruto uncurled himself and shrunk his shell back into his body. Strike! Naruto cheered. Hinata and Hanabi clapped along with Kiba, who loved to see either Sasuke thrashed or his fangirls put in their place. Naruto then turned to Hinata and Hanabi. "Well, I'll see you two at Ichiraku later." He left through his shadow portal. He then reappeared by another training field where his second friend Tenten Higurashi and her team composed of Might Guy, Rock Lee, and Neji Hyuga just finished training. "Yash, wonderful job my cute students, another successful day of training has come and gone." The sensei cheered as the younger clone jumps up. "Yes, Guy Sensei, my flames of youth have gotten brighter than ever." "Lee, Guy Sensei. Lee, Guy Sensei. Lee, Guy Sensei." The two hugged as a setting sun appeared behind them. Tenten chuckled nervously while Neji just walked off heading for home. "So you finally done with training, Tenten-chan?" Naruto asked as he approached. "Naruto-kun, you made it." Tenten ran up to him and glomped him while he placed his arms around her waist and they broke after a minute. "Guy Sensei, Naruto-kun has arrived with his flames of youth," Lee cried. "Yash. Hello and good day to you, Naruto-kun." Guy shook Naruto's hand wildly. "Thanks bushy brow and bushier brow sensei," Naruto said as he stopped his hand from shaking. "Lee and I are just about to do 100 laps around the village. Would you care to join us in our displaying of our flames of youth?" Guy ranted. Thanks, but I'll have to take a rain check on that. Maybe next time," Naruto said, feeling disturbed by their ranting. "Yash, we shall see you next time then. Come Lee, let us run," Guy called. "Hi Guy Sensei." Lee cheered as they dashed away, leaving Naruto and Tenten both freaked out. "You got a strange team, Tenten-chan," Naruto said. "Well, so will you once you graduate from the academy," Tenten remarked. "Touché," Naruto admitted. "So come on, we heading for Ichiraku or what?" Tenten asked. "Of course, Hinata-chan and Hanabi-chan are probably waiting for us," Naruto replied. Tenten linked her arm with his. "Well, come on, let's go," she cheered as he dragged him along. At Ichiraku ramen stand, Naruto, Hinata, Hanabi, and Tenten were sitting down enjoying some ramen. "Well, Hinata-chan, Hanabi-chan, in a few more days we'll be graduates and Genin Shinobi," Naruto said before wolfing down his bowl. "Hi. I wonder who we'll get paired up with once we graduate," Hinata pondered. "So long as I'm not stuck with someone like Sasuke, I'll be fine," Hanabi said, finishing her bowl. "Well, you three may be surprised. I mean, I sure was when I was told Lee and Neji would be my teammates," Tenten said. Soon when they finished, Naruto paid for their meals. "How about I take you girls home?" Naruto offered. "Okay." They agreed as Naruto used his portal to bring them home. Meanwhile, at the Hokage Tower in the meeting room where Sarutobi was gathered with his two old teammates Homura and Kaharu, Danzo the warmonger, and along with them is several heads, some of clans and some of just families. "Okay, what is it that you all called me here this evening?" Sarutobi asked. "Sarutobi, we're here to discuss of Uzumaki Naruto," Kaharu began. "Oh," the Sandame asked. "We've decided he cannot be allowed to graduate his academy exam," Homura spoke. "What was that?" Sarutobi shouted. Sandame Sama, listen to reason. The boy has been a problem, and now that he's got these powers it'll only make him more liable to attack the village, a family head spoke. "Excuse me, but Naruto hasn't even once thought about destroying the village. Where did he even acquire these powers anyway?" Sandame Sama, a random head asked. "I am not liable to tell any of you. So you're siding against the council on the account of one boy?" Danzo asked. "This one boy is the fourth's legacy, and in case you want to go against his will and destroy all that remains left of him, I suggest you stay away from Naruto," Sarutobi warned them. "Yeah, as troublesome as it was, the Yondaime never let us down, and we should do the same by not letting him down." Shikaku, head of the Nara clan, spoke up while looking tired. "Yeah, the Yondaime was our friend too. We cannot let his sacrifice be in vain." Shuza, head of the Akamichi clan, added. "Yes, the boy is a talented one. With those powers he will be a great shinobi. Hiyashi added, knowing how well he helped his daughters. If that's the case, we should instead. Danzo began until the Sandame shot up. No, Danzo, he will not be added to your root division. He's already had enough traumas in his life. We will not be turning him into an emotionless killing machine. Danzo knew he couldn't do more, so he stays silent. If this is all you have to call me here for, I suggest you leave. Tomorrow the academy students will be graduating and I have to go over the matching. He begun to leave before he turned back, and if I find out that Naruto fails his exam, I'll know one of you set it up, he said before leaving. The main houses left, followed by Danzo, who was frowning at the Hokage's choice. While at Naruto's apartment, he was sleeping peacefully while in his subconscious was talking to the Kyuubi. Well, Fox, it's finally come down to this. Yeah, once you graduate tomorrow, you won't have to put up with any rabid Uchiha fangirls. The fox laughed. Yeah, there's that, and the fact that I'll be one step closer to becoming Hokage of this village, Naruto added. Why do you want to become Hokage anyway, Kit? The fox asked, seeing as how nobody wanted him. At first it was just for acknowledgement of the village, but I found a real reason. I want to help those who need it, Naruto began. That's why I aim to be Hokage, believe it. Well, kid, you got quite a reason, and if you ever need help you can always use a portion of my power. Thanks, Fox. No prob. You should get some sleep now. If you're going to graduate tomorrow you need your rest. Night, Fox. Naruto said as he falls asleep. When morning arrived, Naruto went through his daily tasks of bathing, changing, and eating. He put on his sunglasses and grabbed his coat before slipping it on. Naruto stepped outside. I should avoid using my hands for travel, and I can bet lots of people wouldn't want me to graduate. So I'll take the easy way. Naruto vanished into the ground as a shadow and traveled through the village. When Naruto arrived at the academy he wandered inside, and when he entered class he got angry glares from the Uchiha fangirls, mainly the Haruno and Yamanaka, an arrogant frown from the Uchiha, and smiles from Hinata and Hanabi. He strutted his way down to the Hyuga girls and sat in between them as always. So how are you girls this morning? Naruto asked with a foxy grin. We're doing great, Naruto-kun. Hanabi replied while resting her head near his arm. Yes, I'm excited. After today we'll be full-fledged ninja, Hinata agreed. Some of us anyway. An arrogant voice said, which got Naruto to look over at Sasuke. And just what would you know about being a ninja, Teme? Plenty more than Udobi. Sasuke replied, which got Naruto a bit angry but didn't show it. Oh sure, you only want to be a ninja so you can kill one measly person, he mocked instead. Shut up, Sasuke growled. Did I touch a nerve? Naruto asked hopefully, and what's with this Dobi stuff? Both you and I are on equal chances for Rookie of the Year. No one is my equal. Sasuke flared with anger. Yeah, well, we'll see when the day is over. Naruto continued. Naruto Baka, leave Sasuke alone, Sakura screeched. Naruto looks over to the Haruno girl. Haruno, will you just butt out? You're no fit to be a ninja just as much as you think your precious Uchiha should be, Kami. What was that? She asked with a tick growing on her abnormally sized forehead. What hard at hearing? Naruto played it cool, which got her madder until Iruka and Mizuki enter. Good morning, Class 1, hope you're ready for your final exams. Mizuki said, earning nods from the students while the Uchiha brooded. The exam is set up as followed. You must perform a henge, a kawarimi, and make at least 2 clones. Iruka explains the details, only then you will be allowed one of these. He motioned to his forehead protector. We will call you up by alphabetical order, Mizuki began, first Akamichi Choji. As time went by, Hanabi and Hinata were each called and came out with their headbands around their necks. Naruto congratulated both of them, and continued waiting for his turn. When Sasuke came out he gave Naruto an arrogant smirk, motioning to his forehead protector. Finally Naruto was called and he entered their office. He stood before Iruka and Mizuki, who were sitting at a desk. Okay, Naruto, first perform a henge, and if you use that lame move like last time you automatically fail. Iruka warned the blonde. Always a step ahead, Iruka-sensei. Alright then. Naruto formed a hand sign, henge. He shouted, and in a poof of smoke where Naruto was standing was the 4th Hokage. What do you think? The transformed Naruto asked as he transformed back. Very good, Naruto. Wanting to be more like your idol so much you turn into him? Iruka asked. Yeah, something like that. Naruto replied. Now try a kawarimi. Mizuki instructed. On it. Naruto said, concentrating, and in a poof of smoke he was replaced with a stool at the end of the room. Excellent, Naruto. Now all you need to do is make 2 clones of yourself to get a perfect score. Iruka finished. Does it have to be the Bunshin no Jutsu, Iruka-sensei? Naruto asked curiously. Well, not really. Why, you have something else in mind? The scarred instructor asked. Yes. Due to my poor chakra control I cannot perform the basic Bunshin no Jutsu, Naruto began, so I'm trying another approach, he said, holding his arms out to the side as light energy poured from his palms and they take the form of 2 life-like Narutos standing next to him, with both giving the instructors a thumbs up. Marvelous, Naruto, you pass. Iruka said proudly while handing Naruto a leaf headband. Yes, Naruto, good for you. Mizuki smiled happy. Hinata and Hanabi waited for Naruto to come out, and when he did they saw him wearing the headband on his right arm. Congratulations, Naruto-kun, they said together. Thanks, girls. Naruto replied and looked over to Sasuke and gave him the same arrogant smirk just to throw it in his face. When every student was outside getting congrats from their parents, Naruto stuck around with Hinata and Hanabi until their father approached them. I see you both passed your exams, Hiyashi said with his trademark scowl. Why, yes, father. Both his daughters replied. Hiyashi's scowl then changed to a smile. Congratulations, Hinata, Hanabi. You'll both make fine shinobi. Thank you, father. His daughters cried. It was only if they did something or accomplished something very successful he'd give a compliment like that. The Hyuga head then looks at the blonde Jinchuriki and smiles, and congratulations to you two, Naruto. Thanks, Hyuga-sama. Naruto replied. Now there's no need to be formal, Hiyashi replied. Well, thanks anyway, Naruto said as he slowly walked away. Naruto-kun. Where are you going? Hinata asked. I got to bounce. If I stay around here much longer all the other adults here will probably bash me and complain as to why I was allowed to be a ninja. Naruto chuckled. Why do they do that to you anyway, Naruto-kun? Hanabi asked concerned. I don't know for sure myself, Hanabi-chan. Naruto pretended not to know about his host. Well, I'm out of here. See you two tomorrow. He grew his armadillo shell, curled into a ball, and bounced away. He was on his way to find Tenten and tell her about his passing until he rolled into a familiar instructor with white hair. Naruto, can I have a word with you? Mizuki asked as Naruto curled out of his shell looking confused. Sometime later Naruto and Mizuki were on the roof of a building and Naruto had been listening to Mizuki. No way. If I can learn something from the Forbidden Scroll I can bypass Genin and straight to Jonin? Naruto asked with glee. That's right. Though I'm not allowed to tell you this. So let's keep this a secret between us, okay? Mizuki asked. Of course. Naruto nodded. Good, shall we meet tonight at the old training ground? The instructor asked. Sure thing. Perfect. Now run along. Mizuki dismissed him. When Naruto left through a shadow portal, Mizuki smirked deviously. When nighttime came, Hinata and Hanabi were out for an evening stroll until they saw Tenten running up to them looking worried. Hinata. Hanabi, thank goodness. Tenten stopped running and took a few deep breaths. Tenten-san, what's wrong? Hinata asked concerned. You two haven't seen Naruto-kun lately, have you? She asked worried. Not since the end of the academy, Hanabi replied. Oh no, Tenten sighed. Why, is he all right? Hinata asks worried for her blonde friend. I don't know, I haven't seen him at all today, Tenten said more worried. What, Naruto's stolen the Forbidden Scroll? A voice called. The girls heard that and followed it but stopped around a corner. They peeked around it seeing the Hokage with several Chunin gathered before him. I knew he'd go too far. A random Chunin said. This is too much to be considered a prank. Another random one added. I say we bring him back and interrogate him into why he did it, a third suggested. Silence. The Sandaime called. You are to find Naruto and bring him back here, and no harming him until he's been found. He ordered and they took off. Meanwhile at the training ground Naruto was reading through the scroll. This Kage Bunshin no Jutsu is so cool, and these other forms will benefit to my meta-human powers too. Naruto. A voice shot and Iruka appeared before him. Oh hi Iruka-sensei. Naruto said casually. Don't give me that, hi, stuff, you just graduated and are already causing trouble, Iruka replied. What do you mean? Don't I get to move up to Jonin if I learn something from this scroll? Naruto asked in confusion. Who told you that? Iruka asked, wondering why Naruto would think that. Mizuki-sensei said if I learned something from this scroll then I would be promoted to Jonin. Naruto explained. Mizuki? Iruka thought until it hit him. Naruto down. He pushed Naruto down just in time for a large shuriken to miss them. Darn, my aim is off tonight. A voice said. Both the instructor and Genin saw it come from none other than Mizuki. Mizuki, what are you doing this for? Iruka demanded out of his old assistant instructor. Unaware from them, Tenten, Hinata, and Hanabi found Naruto but hid when they saw Mizuki attack them. Sorry Iruka, but I know several parties will pay me big time, Mizuki began, and he turned to Naruto. Naruto, give me the scroll. Iruka will just turn you over to the Hokage. Iruka didn't want Naruto to fall for Mizuki's act. No Naruto. Mizuki's only using you, take the scroll and run. Naruto looked at both of them until Mizuki spoke up. Naruto, give me the scroll and I'll let you in on another secret. Mizuki, what are you saying? Iruka gasped. I know the truth why everyone looks down on you so much. Mizuki said, which got Naruto's attention, wondering how he'll come out and tell him something he already knows. Mizuki, no, that's forbidden. Iruka shouted, only to get impaled in the leg with a kunai. The truth is the Kyuubi Kitsune that attacked our village years ago wasn't killed by the fourth like history said. Instead it was sealed inside a baby the night it was born. That baby was you, Naruto. Mizuki shouted. You are the nine-tailed fox that killed so many of our beloved shinobi years ago, the same fox that killed our fourth Hokage. He ranted, which got gasps out of the girls, while Iruka, barely able to stand, can only watch, wondering how the poor boy will take it. Mizuki waited for Naruto to drop down and cry for mercy, but what he heard wasn't the sound of crying. Instead he was hearing soft laughing coming from the boy, and soon that soft laughter erupted into an insane laugh which put Mizuki in fear as well as Iruka, thinking the fox might take over him. When Naruto stopped laughing he looked at Mizuki. You're a little late to tell me that, Mizuki Teme, he began, which got Mizuki confused. I already know about the fox inside me, but to call me the fox itself, well now that's just plain rude. Naruto said as he faded into a shadow portal, and Mizuki could start hearing Naruto's voice from the shadows of the trees. The real reason you've been playing all nice and sweet was because of how the other instructors at the academy would react at your behavior. I'm not hearing this. Mizuki tried to tone him out. Get it through your skull, Teme. You've really been so afraid you had to hide your true feelings for me. You shoulda just came out of the closet and admitted your hatred. Of course I'd have to beat you senseless after. Naruto continued speaking through the trees. Shut up. Shut up, Mizuki growled, trying to find out where he was. I mean, come on, if you wanted to get something, do it yourself, and not rely on others, and people actually made you a Chunin? Naruto continued to mock Mizuki. Mizuki growled, show yourself. You really make me laugh, only because I think you're utterly pathetic. Naruto added and starts to slowly laugh. Stop that. Mizuki shouted to wherever Naruto may have been hiding. So you wait until graduation at the academy just so you could use a student to steal you a scroll on some forbidden jutsus? What's a matter, couldn't do the job yourself? He asked, mocking the white-haired traitor. I'm not listening, Mizuki growled, more trying hard not to lose it. But it's true. Beneath the title of Chunin and all the territory that comes with the position, you're just a coward needing a genin to do a simple job for him. Naruto's mocking voice continued to fill the area. I'm warning you, Mizuki started losing it. I hear guys like you who use words instead of their fists are all talk and no walk, which puts you at the top of that list. Naruto continued mocking as his laugh got louder and louder. Mizuki growled before pulling out another giant shuriken. Don't you dare laugh at me. Why? Laughter is the best medicine, especially for ninja. Naruto continued to laugh, which drove Mizuki even madder. You're not a ninja. He threw the shuriken to a branch where he heard the voice was, which cut it, revealing Naruto was right there, and he fell to the ground. Okay. Maybe there is such a thing as overdoing it. Naruto replied as Mizuki stood before him with a kunai. Now I'm going to finish what the fourth Hokage started. Mizuki was ready to stab him. No. A female voice called as two regular-sized shuriken aimed for the traitor, who jumped away before they impaled him. The shuriken came from Tenten, who appeared with Hinata and Hanabi at her sides. Girls. Naruto gasped. Don't you worry, Naruto-kun, we're going to protect you, Hinata said, getting into a stance with her Byakugan activated. Hi. Hanabi agreed, getting in the same stance. What do you think you're doing? Do you know who you're defending? Mizuki bellowed. Yes, we heard you and you're wrong about Naruto-kun, Tenten shot back. Tenten-chan. Naruto gasped. Naruto is no demon, but you and all those others here in the village are too blind to see it. Even Hanabi and I know it doesn't take a Byakugan to see Naruto-kun for who he really is, Hinata added. Yeah, and we'll protect him from creeps like you no matter what, Hanabi finished. Naruto looked up and couldn't help but shed a tear hearing these girls would protect him. So be it, Mizuki said as he attacked the girls. Tenten used multiple weapons on Mizuki, but he kept avoiding them and not even two Hyuga kids could stop him. Mizuki threw the three at Naruto, who caught them, and Mizuki got another big shuriken out. I had no intention of killing Hyugas or a weapons kunoichi, but that no longer matters to me. He threw the shuriken, but before it could make contact, Iruka shielded the genin and the shuriken got him in the back. Iruka-sensei. Naruto, Hanabi, and Hinata gasped. I lost my parents that night when the Kyuubi attacked, Iruka cried. I don't want to lose some of the best students I ever taught. How sweet, not only will I dispose of you genin but my old partner as well, Mizuki said with a sick grin. Naruto got up and handed Iruka to Tenten. Iruka-sensei, girls. You all did great holding him off. Now it's time I finished this, Naruto said as he formed hand signs, Taju Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. He shouted, and in a huge poof of smoke the entire field was covered with hundreds of Narutos in the flesh. How do you like us now, traitor? The Narutos asked. What a jutsu! Tenten gasped as she sat Iruka down by a tree. Mizuki realized he was surrounded with nowhere to go. What made him more paranoid was some of the Naruto's feet grew giant-sized, another bunch of them grew giant purple bulky arms, while the remaining bunch grew light energy mallets. Now for your punishment for attacking your own comrades, traitor, the Narutos called as they jumped for the high-pitched screaming Mizuki. Kicks and punches were heard, and when the sun rose there was Mizuki lying on the ground with blood coming out of his mouth, and his face was so bruised you wouldn't recognize him. A horde of Anbu came and were told about the whole situation from Iruka, who was still too tired and weak to move. So the Anbu woman known as Yugo gave orders to a rat-masked Anbu and a boar-masked Anbu. You two take the traitor to Ibiki for interrogation. The two nodded and collect Mizuki's body and vanish. She then turned to an ape-masked Anbu and a rooster-masked one, while you two take Iruka-san to the hospital. They nodded, taking Iruka to the hospital as the female captain watched Naruto with his three female companions. I want to thank you girls for defending me back there, Naruto thanked them. We should be thanking you, Naruto-kun, you're the one who beat him, Tenten said. You're the best shinobi there is and ever will be in our books, Hanabi added. And we know you will become a great Hokage, Naruto-kun, Hinata finished. Naruto sheds another tear beneath his sunglasses and held out his arms. Come here, you three. So the three girls glomped Naruto in a four-way hug. The scene zoomed out to see the Sandaime had been watching all along and knew that Naruto will do very well in the future, and that he knew the full truth. At the academy the very next morning, Naruto was sitting before the Hokage discussing what had happened last night. Also, Naruto had just finished taking his ID picture for future Konoha records. The Hokage was looking at Naruto's profile image and then back at Naruto before finally speaking. Naruto, tell me exactly why you didn't remove your sunglasses during the shot. Are you kidding, old man? The sunglasses are a part of me, same as the rest of my gear. Naruto began motioning to the rest of his attire. You take away even one accessory and the whole image doesn't work, he explained. You seem fixated on your appearance very much, aren't you, Naruto? The Hokage took a breath from his pipe. Well, not because I want to look super cool, like other stuck-ups. Naruto continued, because an appearance is another way of throwing your enemies into fear, confusion, or just to give them something to remember me by after I win, he stated. Just then a sliding door opened and a little boy wearing a long blue scarf and holding a single shuriken came rushing in. Gigi, this is the day I defeat you and take my position as Hokage. The boy ranted as he headed for the old man, but suddenly tripped on his own scarf and fell flat on his face. Sarutobi looked mildly disturbed by the boy's attempt. My grandson, a bigger headache than my teammates and Danzo for that matter. He thought, comparing him to his least favorite people. While Naruto was just disturbed by this kid's actions. This kid is nuts, he thought. The kid got up and looked all around him for some reason. Okay. Who did it? Who was the one who tripped me? He called until his gaze focused on Naruto. You're the one who tripped me, weren't you? The kid pointed accusingly at him. Look kid, you tripped over your own scarf, so don't go blaming others for your own accidents. Naruto brushed him off. Don't try to talk your way out it, the least you could do is apologize for that stunt you pulled. The kid continued to accuse Naruto, which finally got on his last nerve. Naruto grabbed the boy by the collar and lifts him up. Listen kid, Naruto began until an adult rushed in wearing a bodysuit and sunglasses. Honorable grandson, there you are, the adult said, until he noticed the situation the boy was in. You unhand the Hokage's honorable grandson this minute. Naruto looked back at the kid thinking, this runt is related to Gigi. You gotta be kidding me. While the grandson thought he was going to get this way. Yeah, that's right, I'm Konohamaru Sarutobi, the honorable grandson of the Sandaime Hokage, so you should show me some respect. Naruto finally couldn't take anymore with the kid's superiority. Respect this kid. Naruto pounded the boy's head so hard he fell back to the ground, which shocked the adult and the Hokage. Okay, that's enough Naruto. The Hokage ordered him and Naruto eased up, while completely ignoring the glare from the adult who was supposed to be watching the boy. I'll see you later, old man. Naruto said, creating a shadow portal, and walked into it as it vanished. The Hokage's grandson looked at this move and was amazed. That's so cool, he thought. Later that day Naruto was walking about the village feeling proud that he's finally made genin, and more to the fact that he won't have to put up with anything involving Sasuke. Naruto felt like bashing Sasuke, but rather than find him and insult him instead he'd rather sing about him. Sasuke is no use at all. Thinks he's very clever. Says that he can beat me. That's the best joke ever. When he bashes me on and on with the biggest folly, I'll just shove it up his ass. Pop goes old Sassy. He sang in a "Pop goes the weasel" fashion. He chuckled after that. Man, I should be a professional singer the way I come up with tunes. He was feeling so good of himself until he stopped and motioned his eyes from left to right. Trouble, he said to himself until he heard the sounds of cracking knuckles. Naruto turned around to see Sakura, Ino, and every other Uchiha fangirl in the academy. The girls had ticked marks on their faces and eyes that spelt crazy in them. It was safe to say that they heard Naruto singing about Sasuke in a fashion they'd refuse to tolerate. But Naruto ignored the fact they were ready to kill him. Naruto, Sakura and Ino began in a firm fashion. What, you girls can't appreciate fine music? Naruto asked like a smart aleck. The girls just got more pissed off. That's it Naruto, you asked for it, Sakura wailed as she and every fangirl got ready while Naruto just smirked. You've got to catch me first. He cried as he rolled into his armadillo shell and began rolling away like a boulder going down a hill. The fangirls and Sakura just took off after him screaming stuff of which they will do to him. Naruto kept rolling away knowing there'd be no way they'd catch him, but he soon grew bored with rolling from them, so when he got far enough from them he launched into the air and uncurled himself before releasing the wings on his arms and flew off, leaving the screaming fangirls. Adios ladies, he called as he flew off. He landed on a building's rooftop. Geez, and I thought I got rough when someone mocks ramen. Naruto panted from all the rolling. Well, you did the right thing, and hopefully those wenches will realize that the Uchiha isn't all that they thought he was. The Kyuubi replied. True, Naruto agreed, but I'm not getting my hopes up about that. By the way Kit, you nervous about how the teams will be paired up? The fox asked his container. Well, I got my hunches Shikamaru and Choji will be partnered up with Ino to make the next Ino Shikacho trio like their fathers, Naruto began, and I'm certain Kiba and Shino will be partnered up with Hinata to form a tracking team. Hinata? What makes you think they won't choose Hanabi? The fox asked puzzled. Well, because Hinata's older plus she knows them better than Hanabi does, Naruto replied. Guess you got a point there. So as time went by Naruto was sitting in class with Hinata and Hanabi eager for the arrival of Iruka-sensei. What ruined their peace was the arrival of the pink and blonde banshees Satan dubbed Sakura and Ino. Just great, now we got them to deal with, Naruto began. Watch, they're probably going to start their usual "I'm going to sit next to Sasuke" war, he said, and sure enough they did. They're so predictable. As he watched every other girl shout about who would sit next to the brooding Uchiha. Naruto felt it was once again time to put the duck butt in his place. Sasuke came out of his brooding to look up and see Naruto standing on the desk looking at Sasuke. I just want to make one thing perfectly clear to you, Sasuke. I don't like you, he said. Sasuke raised an eyebrow, annoyed by him. Is that all? Naruto just shook his head, followed by fixing his sunglasses. No, I still have one final piece of advice to give you before we part ways into becoming genin. Naruto continued until a shriek interrupted him. Naruto stopped glaring at Sasuke. Sakura shrieked, with other fangirls giving him angry glares. Naruto turned towards her and the girls with a frown. Do you mind? He began. Can't you see I'm having a conversation with him? Honestly, you women need to learn a thing or two about not butting into others' business. He turned back to Sasuke. As I was saying, you and I are the best in the village as of now in this academy. But that's not going to matter after this, he continued. We'll each be faced with obstacles beyond that of what we were taught here, and your special name and status won't be enough to save you. Naruto finished as his sunglasses gave off a shine from the lenses. Sasuke looked ticked off at his comments. Are you calling me weak? Sasuke growled. Naruto just smirked. No, not weak in general, just weak against me, he chuckled. This reply got the girls ready to clobber Naruto until a student behind Naruto accidentally leaned back, sending Naruto right for Sasuke in a bad fashion. Naruto, with his quick thinking, put his hand on Sasuke's head, slamming it on the desk, causing Naruto to roll across Sasuke's backside and landing on the table behind him. Man, talk about close one. Hey, by the way, nice use of your head, duck butt. Naruto chuckled while Hinata and Hanabi suppressed a giggle. Naruto stopped his chuckling and sees every other girl, including Sakura and Ino, giving him their trademark nasty look. Naruto, you're dead, Sakura growled. Naruto didn't look at all intimidated by them. Really, now where have I heard that before? He asked rhetorically, followed by a short laugh. The girls were ready to deck Naruto until a light energy knife coming from his right arm was pointed at them. I've beaten the Uchiha in every spar I had with him. He's supposedly my only worthy adversary. And you're attempting to attack someone who can defeat another guy stronger than you? Now, is that really wise? Naruto asked, watching them back away in fear of Naruto's energy knife. I thought so. He powered his energy weapon down and took his seat back with Hinata and Hanabi. Naruto-kun, that was awesome. Hinata said. Yes, you sure put them all in their place. Hanabi added, referring to Sasuke and the fangirls. They had it coming. Naruto replied with, no big deal, in his tone. Soon enough, Iruka came in and greeted everyone. Now listen, class, as of now you're all ninja of this village, and I am proud to have been your instructor. Iruka started. I am about to announce the teams from my class. But before that, I'd like to give the Rookie of the Year award to the top student in this year. He continued as Naruto and Sasuke's heads shot up, knowing they're the only two strongest ninja in class. Sasuke smirked arrogantly, confident the award would be his. Naruto, on the other hand, just sat back in his seat looking as calm as ever. Iruka took out a scroll, made from cloth, and smiled to the students. And this year's Rookie of the Year is Uzumaki Naruto, Iruka said proudly, looking to Naruto. Was there ever any doubt? Naruto asked anyone around him, like he was expecting it to be him even if he didn't show it. Sasuke frowned in anger while his fan club was shocked. Kiba was envious of Naruto but happy that it wasn't Sasuke nonetheless. Hinata and Hanabi were overjoyed with Naruto's accomplishment as he got up, walked to Iruka and was handed the award. Thank you, Iruka-sensei. You earned it, Naruto. Iruka replied with a smile. Naruto returned to his seat with his two favorite kunoichis, while Iruka took out some notes. Now then, I will read off the list of teams, each being a three-man cell. Iruka began as he read off the first 6 teams being people not worth mentioning. Team 7 shall consist of Hyuga Hanabi, Haruno Sakura, and Uchiha Sasuke. Iruka called out. Hanabi slammed her face down on the desk many times for being paired up with the 2 worst people to ever walk the earth. Sakura was beaming with joy, being the one chosen to be on a team with Sasuke, thinking this is all about true love prevailing. Sasuke, on the other hand, didn't even want to be on a team, thinking they'll only slow him down. Iruka then continued the squad number and names. Team 8 shall consist of Hyuga Hinata, Inuzuka Kiba, and Aburame Shino. Iruka called. Hinata was grateful to be on a team with people she knew, but she still would have preferred being on a team with Naruto, which Hanabi felt the same way about. Iruka then continued until he got to the final squad, And finally Team 10 consists of Yamanaka Ino, Nara Shikamaru, and Akamichi Choji. Shikamaru yawned the word troublesome, Choji just munched on his chips, and Ino was in depression not being with Sasuke. Naruto looked at his instructor confused. Iruka-sensei, why wasn't my name called? Sasuke arrogantly smirked yet again. Fei, looks like the dobi wasn't good enough to have a team or sensei, serves you right for acting all cool loser. Naruto looked over to the pompous asshole before speaking. You know what, Teme, nobody asked for your damn opinion, so shut the hell up. Naruto shouted, and before Sakura could protest, Naruto showed her a fireball in his palm that put her back in her place. Naruto doused the fireball and turned his attention back to Iruka. Anyway, Iruka-sensei, what gives? Iruka smiled. Well, Naruto the Hokage asked me to tell you to see him later. He says he has special plans for you. He said, which got everyone in class looking at Naruto, who smirked. You don't say? He said, acting curious. Sasuke was growling and thought, why's this dobi getting special treatment? I'm an Uchiha, I deserve the best. Well class, it was great teaching you here, good luck, and remember to be loyal to the village, Iruka said before leaving. Congratulations, Naruto-kun, Hanabi said while side-hugging him. Yes, we're so proud of you, Naruto-kun, Hinata added, hugging his other side. Thanks, and good luck with your teams, especially you, Hanabi-chan, Naruto said as he held them both close and kissed their cheeks, which turned them beet red. He then got up off his seat. Well, better see what Gigi wants. He walks around the desk and summoned a shadow portal and turned towards the Uchiha and the Haruno with a smirk. He fixed his sunglasses before speaking. Catch you on the flip side, he said before back-flipping into the portal that vanished. The portal reappeared in the Hokage's office as Sarutobi was going through paperwork. The Hokage was startled as Naruto came out of it. What's happening, Gigi? The Hokage regained his composure. Naruto, can't you use the door like you used to? He asked, knowing he's going to be dealing with unexpected surprises from him. Now where'd be the fun in that, Gigi? Besides, I'd love to see that shocked expression on your face more often, Naruto added with a chuckle. The Hokage held in a small chuckle before going back to serious mode. So anyway, I heard from Iruka-sensei you wanted to see me? Ah yes, Naruto, what I'm about to tell you concerns your parents, Sarutobi said, which made Naruto freeze in shock, followed by his sunglasses slipping off his eyes, revealing his wide-eyed expression. Wait, what did you say, Gigi? Naruto asked, picking his sunglasses back up and back on. It's time you knew who your parents were, Naruto, Sarutobi began while reaching into his robes. He pulled out a scroll and handed it to Naruto. Naruto unsealed the scroll, rolls it out and reads a message inside it. Dear Naruto, if you are reading this, then the sealing of Kyuubi inside of you worked. If you haven't realized it yet, my name is Minato Namikaze, the Yondaime Hokage. Your father. I will not blame you if you feel hatred for me for what horrors I've burdened you with. But you have to understand, being the Hokage, I couldn't just ask anybody in the village to offer up their child as the vessel, not if I had a child of my own. Your mother's name was Kushina Uzumaki, who hailed from Uzushiogakure. Unfortunately, the land has been long since gone due to rivaling nations targeting. It broke my heart that she died during childbirth. I don't have much time left as the Kyuubi is getting closer. I wish to let you know, my son, that I love you, and that no matter what you feel towards me, be it happiness or anger, I will always love you and be proud of you. I asked Sarutobi to keep our old home safe until you became a ninja so that you could inherit it. Inside it you'll find all the jutsu knowledge Kushina and I have collected over our years as shinobi. I'm sorry I don't have much time left, but I must hurry and protect the village. I love you, Naruto, and hope one day you'll forgive me. And also, son, grow up to be a fine shinobi, Naruto. With love, Minato Namikaze. P.S. If you see a perverted old man by the name of Jiraiya, kick his ass for me for all the times he's peeped on me and your mother in intimate moments. Naruto's eyes started swelling up with tears, and even though he wore sunglasses the old man could still see them. I'm truly sorry about this, Naruto. The Hokage looked down with regret. It's okay, Gigi, Naruto began calmly as he looked up at the Hokage. I understand that my dad wanted what was best for me, and if it weren't for him I never would made a friend who helped me achieve power that could lead me to my goal. The Kyuubi snickered. Yeah, even though I can barely move inside this cage, at least it's nice to be away from people who throw kunai at you. Well, Naruto, shall we go to your new home? Sarutobi asked the boy. Yeah, let's go. Naruto nodded. The Hokage held Naruto close as they sunshined and reappeared outside a big mansion. Whoa, this is Mom and Dad's old place? Naruto gasped. Yes. During most of my free time I've been taking care of it, and now that you know of your heritage, it's yours now, he answered before taking him inside. They walked through the garden before entering the mansion itself. Naruto gasped, seeing it looked even bigger on the inside. He saw a few pictures of his father and his mother together with Sarutobi and another old man with white hair and wore sage robes. Welcome to your new home, Sarutobi said. Oh, I don't believe it, Naruto gasped as he ran to the center of the lobby and pumped his arms up. Yes, yes, he cheered wildly. I guess you're really satisfied, Sarutobi guessed. You bet. Naruto confirmed. Better get the layout of this place. He summoned some shadow clones and sent them off. After they dispelled, he had the layout of the whole mansion committed to memory. Perfect. I know where everything is, but there's something I am curious about. What's that, Naruto? The Hokage asked. This way. Naruto showed the old man the way until they stopped in front of a room. He slid it open to reveal it was big and completely empty. What used to be in here? Well, Naruto, Minato never really had any use for this particular room, so he labeled this as a storage room, but surely you can find a good use for it. Yeah, I already got a training dojo here, so I can scratch that. Naruto fixed his sunglasses. Oh well, it'll come to me, I'm sure. And now let's talk my ninja career, old man. Why wasn't I given a squad or a sensei? The elder man smiled. Well, Naruto, one is that there was an odd number of students this year, and two, I would like to make you one of my special select genin. Special select genin? Naruto asked. That's right. You can work D to C rank missions by yourself, and when comes such a time for you to be given BA rank missions, I will pair you off with another squad. Old man, I'd hug you tight, but it'll probably break your spine. Naruto grinned. Don't worry about that, Sarutobi replied as he hugged the boy and thought to himself, Minato, you'd be very proud at how much your son has learned. When Naruto got out of the old man's hug, he looked up. Could you lock up for me, old man? I got a split. He asked the Hokage, and he nodded, knowing he has people to see. He phased into a shadow portal and reappeared outside his home. He grew his feet giant-sized and took off, hopping away with Jamaican music following him. He was soon at Ichiraku with Tenten, Hanabi, and Hinata, and he just told him about his heritage. That's amazing, Naruto-kun. You're son of the Yondaime. Tenten gasped. Naruto-kun's the son of the Hokage? Hinata thought while looking several shades of red. We're so proud of you, Naruto-kun, Hanabi said as she ate. Well, Naruto, I'm impressed as well to hear that. Minato and Kushina were my oldest favorite customers. Tucci added while cooking. You knew my parents? Naruto gasped. Oh sure, they'd stopped in here a number of times. They'd always order some of the most expensive specials here, and left me an even bigger tip. So how about you, Hinata-chan, Hanabi-chan? How'd your team interviews with your senseis go? Naruto asked, finishing his fifth bowl. Hinata went first. Well, my sensei's name is Yuhi Kurenai, and she's strong in genjutsu and very kind. Yes, that's Kurenai's sensei for you. Always looking out for people. And how about you, Hanabi-chan? It's torture, she cried. First off, our sensei Kakashi was 5 freaking hours late. When he arrived, he said his first impression of us was that we were stupid. When he asked for us to explain ourselves, he only told us his name. Wait, Kakashi? As in Hitaki Kakashi? Tenten asked. According to Gai Sensei, they are supposedly eternal rivals. Anyway, out of me, Sakura, and Sasuke, I'm the only one who really opened up. Likes, dislikes, hobbies, plans for the future. All Sakura did was glance at Sasuke for everything, and when asked dislikes, she said your name with hate in her voice. One of these days I'm going to go postal on her ass. Naruto frowned. And Sasuke was just as worse. He had his whole, my dream is an ambition, and that's to kill a certain man, speech. Hanabi sighed. Well, I'd like to see how long he lasts. Tenten chuckled, and soon they all erupted in laughter. So you two were each given tests tomorrow? She continued. Yes, Sensei advised me and my team not to eat breakfast or we'd puke. Hanabi explained in fear. Hey Hanabi-chan. A word of advice, eat anyway. He said, advised, and not, don't, after all. Naruto noted. I was planning to eat anyway. Hanabi replied. I'm not sure what my sensei has in store, I'm afraid. Hinata said nervously. Well, don't be afraid, Hinata-chan. Just work well with Kiba and Shino, and I know you'll do well. Same for you, Hanabi-chan. Naruto told them. When it was already dark out, Naruto took his girls back to their places, and proceeded back to his mansion where Sarutobi said he'd be moving all his things from his apartment into his mansion. As he was about to leave, he heard a familiar voice behind him. Well, Naruto, you sure grew since we last saw you, a voice said. Naruto spun around and saw Aben and the breed exactly as they were when he last met them. Aben-sensei. Guys. Naruto cheered as he rushed to them, pounding each of their fists. You sure got big, Naruto. Last time we saw you, you were such a little squirt, Hotstreak joked. Well, this squirt, as you put it, Hotstreak-sensei, is now an official genin ninja of the village. Naruto motioned to the forehead protector tied to his right arm. Good for you, Naruto. You finally became a ninja, Talon congratulated him. You made us proud, Mon. Kanger added. You guys are proud now? Well, have I got a story to tell you. Naruto walked them away. When they were close to the Namikaze mansion, the breed was updated on Naruto's life. He started with telling them about his 3 female friends, kicking the ass of the supposed gifted ninja of the village, including kicking the bigger ass of a traitor who tried to kill him. He even brought up his heritage and what Minato left him in return. Your father, the Hokage, how sweet is that? Shiv asked in excitement. And nobody told you about this ever? Talon asked, feeling miffed at the idea of the villagers treating the Hokage's son. How could your old man do that to you? Puff asked, feeling pissed at the thought of someone's own father cursing their child. Yeah, if my old man did something like that to me, I would never forgive him. Hotstreak added, ready to shoot fire. Believe me, I still don't like the fact he left me alone, and with someone who everybody hates, but thanks to him I never would have acquired your powers. Naruto explained it through another perspective. Well, kids got a point. Onyx admitted. Well guys, welcome to my home. Naruto led them through the main gates. When the breed walks past the gates and look up at the whole mansion, they were shocked beyond anything. Nice crib you got here, kid, Aben said. Yeah, we'll have to crash here sometime, Carmen added. Well, come on in guys. Naruto led them inside. When they got inside, they were even more amazed than how it looked outside. After he showed them all the rooms, he then showed him his storage room. I've been trying to figure out what to do with this room, but so far I got nothing. Aben examined the layout of the room and smirked beneath the shadow exterior, while the other metahumans could tell he already had a plan. Naruto, we know exactly what to do about this room. Really? Yup. We got just the stuff to turn this place into the perfect entertainment room, Aben said as he held out the device that brought him and the breed to Konoha in the first place. We'll be right back, come on Hotstreak, Kanger, Onyx. He continued as he and the 3 others came with him. When they returned, they had loads of entertainment stuff with them and they soon began putting everything up. When they were finished, the once cold empty storage room was filled with lots of stuff. There was red shag carpeting, a pool table in the center of the room, an electronic basketball arcade in the corner, table tennis, foosball, and an air hockey table in another part. There was a karaoke machine with loudspeakers set up on a small stage, a disco ball hanging from the ceiling, a huge flat-screen plasma TV with surround sound set up in a corner with a game station hooked up to it, along with a huge red couch set up in front, 2 black armchairs, and a couple of colored beanbag chairs lying around. Wow, this is awesome. Naruto gasped, seeing the room in a whole new view. What do you think of your new rec room, Naruto? Shiv asked, feeling proud of how it was set up. It's amazing. I really feel like I'm living large now, Naruto said, plopping on the couch. Glad you like it. These were a few things our old crib didn't have room for, Aben said. I really want to thank you guys for helping me out. I want you guys to crash here for a while. You know, while getting to know the people I made friends with. Meet the 3 lovely ladies who've fallen for me. Hell, even spar for a bit. Naruto offered them. Well, why not? We could use a break from back home. Aben admitted to liking the idea. Yeah, after all, living in the room of a famous guy like your pop must have a lot of benefits, Puff said. So where's the kitchen? Carmen asked, causing everyone to sweat drop except for Ferret, who was eager as well. Soon enough the breed was set up in guest rooms, and Naruto headed for his own bedroom. He laid on his dad's king-sized bed that looked to be for him to have alone and hoped one day he could have someone or a few to share it with. Man with a bed like this, Dad and my mom probably had some wild times. Give or take a few years and I just might too. Naruto chuckled at the thought of getting jiggy in a bed that big. Yeah, you and your 3 honeys. Kyuubi laughed while imagining his container with Hinata, Tenten, and Hanabi. You're a riot, Kyuubi, Naruto sarcastically answered. So I've been told by Lesser Demon's Kit, huh? Kyuubi chuckled. Well, time to get some sleep. A day like today takes it out of ya. Let me tell you. Naruto says as he falls asleep knowing his life just got better. When daytime came at the Namikaze mansion, Naruto was already awake with several clones in the kitchen fixing breakfast for his guests. The breed then walks in with some rubbing sleep out of their eyes and Carmen's and Ferret's noses hung in the air. Something smells good. Ferret caught the aroma. Whoa. Naruto, what did you do? How are there so many of you? Talon gasped at the clones. Yeah, how'd you do that? Kangar asked in confusion. Little something called shadow clones, one of the Naruto explained as another took it from there, a jutsu that allows me to create solid clones of myself. Then a third took it finished, with the fox's chakra I could create 1,000 clones. Sounds like you really learned a lot from when we last saw you, Aben admitted. Glad you think so, sensei. Naruto served everyone a bowl of ramen. Hope you guys like ramen. It's best type of food in the village. The breed sat down looking at the utensils which were chopsticks. Good thing I ate a lot of Chinese food in the past. Carmen said as he handled the chopsticks with ease. Yeah, lucky you. Hotstreak replied sourly as he struggled to hold the chopsticks. Soon enough, the breed managed to hold their chopsticks and eat the ramen. Needless to say, they were all satisfied with their meal. Especially Ferret and Carmen. Wow, this is really good. Shiv licked his lips. Yeah, it's got quite a flavor to it, Puff agreed. When do you learn how to cook, Naruto? Talon asked the blonde who washed his bowl. Naruto looked back smiling. One of the Jonin of the village taught me. Yuhi Kurenai was her name. She's a mistress in the art of illusion. He dried his bowl. So a female ninja taught you, huh? Is she hot? Hotstreak asked hopefully. Very, but don't get your hopes up. I know she's seeing someone, Naruto remarked. Damn it. Hotstreak grumbled. Well, anyway, we should be heading out soon. I want to introduce you to some of the people I know. Naruto explained as he finished the dishes. Sounds like a smart plan to me. Aben agreed. Cool. I wondered how much this place has changed. Shiv added excited. So Naruto put his trench coat and sunglasses on, and took the breed outside for the tour. As they walk around the village, they noticed some of the villagers weren't giving him the disgusted looks, but rather the shocked looks. Place sure almost looks the same. And I guess these fools left you alone after what we taught you, huh? Aben asked Naruto. That's right. So where are you taking us? Onyx asked curiously. To see one of my friends taking her team exam. Naruto explained as he leads them to a training field. Naruto and the breed hid as they saw 3 others Naruto's age, Hinata, Kiba, and Shino. They appeared to be trying to find something around the area. What are they doing? Ferret asked. Trying to find their sensei. And it's a very clever test, Kurenai sensei. Naruto smirked. What are you talking about? Puff asked. These 3 were made into a squad to be a tracking squad, Naruto explained. Kiba there with his dog Akamaru have a strong sense of smell like you, Ferret sensei. They could smell an enemy ninja a mile away. He began, which got Ferret a little jealous, thinking someone might rival his sense of smell. Anyway, Hinata, the girl with the clear eyes. Naruto began but was cut off by Hotstreak. Oh yeah, the girl we saw you defend. She sure aged. Hotstreak nudged Naruto's shoulder. So you two seeing each other? Naruto blushed and shook it off. Anyway, she has the Byakugan, the all-seeing eye. With eyes like that she could see in far distances as well as a ninja's chakra network. He explains. Cool, like X-ray vision? Shiv asked. Something like that, Naruto replied, and the guy in the coat and glasses is Shino. His family, the Aburames, are masters of insects capable of calling on bugs all around them and use them to do their bidding, such as reconnaissance. Sounds like a perfect team. Aben admitted liking the idea of a reconnaissance team. They watched as the 3 worked together. With Kiba's sense of smell and Hinata's eyes, they located Kurenai, who used one of her illusions. With her illusion dispelled, Shino used his colony to trap her, forcing her to give. Well, I believe this test has come to a close. Kurenai began as the three genin stood before her. Inazuka Kiba, Hyuga Hinata, and Aburame Shino, I hereby grant us the title of Squad 8. Congratulations. Kiba and Akamaru were jumping all happy and cheering, while Hinata smiled and blushed, feeling so happy, while Shino just stood there not showing emotion but was glad nevertheless. Suddenly the new team heard applause and Naruto approached. Well done you guys. I'd say you'd make a fine squad, and with Kurenai-sensei as squad leader you'll do just perfect. Naruto-kun. Hinata blushed. Hey Naruto. We weren't expecting to see you again so soon. They high-fived. Well, I decided to see how you guys would do, and I say you all did great, Naruto began. Especially you Shino. With those bugs you could seriously put an enemy ninja in their place. Arigato, Naruto. Shino replied in his silent voice. So is there any other reason why you came besides to see Hinata? Kurenai teased him, which got the two blushing. Actually, I wanted to introduce to you guys some friends of mine. Naruto began as he signals the meta breed to come out of hiding and presented themselves. Whoa, who are these guys? Kiba asked in shock. Yes Naruto, who are these people? Kurenai asked, getting a look at each of them. Let me introduce you all to my first senseis, Naruto began. This is Aben, Shiv, Talon, Hotstreak, Puff, Kangar, Onyx, Ferret, and Carmen. Pleased to meet ya. Aben shook Kurenai's hand. Yeah, pleasure's all ours. Hotstreak added with a little drool which he quickly sucks back in his mouth. So you're the ones who gave Naruto his special abilities? Kurenai asked. One in the same, sweetheart. Shiv says, only to get his back smacked by Talon. Ignore Shiv. He's a joker, she explained. Hotstreak looked at Hinata. So you're Hinata, the girl Naruto rescued years ago? He said, getting Hinata blushing. Hi. Hinata replied. I'll gotta say this, you sure grew pretty. Shiv added, which turned her several shades of red. Talon then knocked their heads together to make them stop. Okay. Leave the girl alone. She comforted her. Ignore them Hinata. But they are right, you really are the beautiful type for your age. Arigato. She blushed. Well team, tomorrow we start our first day as a squad. Kurenai began. Dismissed. She vanished. Well, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Kiba began as he raced away. Come on Akamaru. He called his dog and they ran off. Shino then took off in his own direction without saying anything. Welcome on Hinata-chan. Naruto began as he linked his arm with hers. Let's see how Hanabi-chan's doing. So the two genin and the breed took off to another training ground where test had already begun. They saw Kakashi, who was dealing with Hanabi in hand-to-hand with her Byakugan activated. Sasuke was nowhere to be seen, while Sakura was passed out on the ground. Kakashi was reading his orange book while managing to fight against Hanabi, but didn't seem to be taking her seriously. Is that her, Naruto? Puff asked. Yup, that's her. Looks like she's giving him her all, but he isn't to her. Naruto noticed and spotted two bells on his waist. So the old divide and conquer scheme, Kakashi? What do you mean divide and conquer? Carmen asked. Just watch. Naruto answered as he sat back to enjoy the show. Suddenly Sasuke stepped in, blocking Hanabi, and went at it with Kakashi on his own using taijutsu. He almost got a bell but only touched it. He attempted to launch a fire jutsu at the cycloptic ninja but missed. Sasuke then felt something grab his feet. He looked down and Kakashi pulled him into the ground with his head sticking out of the earth like a plant. Ain't he a little flower? Naruto asked the breed about Sasuke and Shiv chuckled. Good one. They watched as Sakura came out of her daze, and upon seeing Sasuke's face sticking out of the ground made her think he was decapitated. Sakura? Sasuke asked. His response was Sakura screaming like a sissy and fainted all over again. You're useless. He grumbled. A timer suddenly went off which got the ones in the test's attention. Kakashi appeared and dug Sasuke out while Hanabi woke Sakura up as they presented themselves in front of the Jonin. Well, looks like you guys failed. Kakashi began in disappointment. Hanabi stood her ground, not affected by his words for some reason, while Sakura, who came to, cried, Sasuke-kun, you're alive. But the reply she got was only, HN. Not only did you fail but you totally missed the point of the test, Kakashi continued, and I actually had such high hopes for you all. Sakura looked at the Cyclops, but sensei, the purpose of the test was to get the bells, wasn't it? No Sakura, the test was teamwork. Hanabi replied in annoyance. Hanabi. If you knew the purpose of the test, why did you not use that knowledge? Asked Kakashi. I tried to sensei, but Sakura refused to help, saying if that were true then Sasuke would be the one to notice it, and Sasuke is such a selfish ass that he refused to accept help. The little girl explained. Don't believe her, sensei. I would have listened if she told me, Sakura exclaimed. Don't give me that, Haruno. Observe. Hanabi began as she pulled out 2 tape recorders. She pressed one and Sakura's voice played. You're just trying to keep me from passing so I wouldn't be with Sasuke-kun. Besides, if that were the truth he would have already told us about it. And here's Sasuke's. She clicked the other one to play. I don't need help for Magaki like you. Besides, I'm an Avenger. I cannot let others hold me back. Sasuke gave off an arrogant smirk. You probably used a henge to copy our voices. This got Hanabi furious, but even more when she heard what came next from Sakura. Yeah, Sasuke-kun's right. You just tried to get us in trouble. Hanabi was about to attack in anger until Kakashi spoke up. Sasuke, Sakura, are you telling the truth, because it's disrespectful to lie to a Jonin? We wouldn't lie to you, right, Sasuke-kun? Sakura asked desperately while he just blew her off. I know you two are lying, and I'll show you how. Kakashi began as 2 more Kakashis walked out of the bushes and dispelled themselves. I had my cage bunchins in the bush listening in on your conversations. Sasuke. Sakura, I should have you both dropped from the ninja ranks instead of being sent back to the academy. He warned them, which got Sakura scared and Sasuke upset. You can't do that. Sasuke growled. On the contrary, Sasuke, I can, and I will, unless, Kakashi began. You two learn to trust and teamwork and not put yourselves or others before your team and not just one of the teammates. If you can do that, then you'll make an outstanding team. Sakura saw the conditions and realized he was right. Yes, sensei. She sighed, feeling guilty for lying and showing not team effort. Very well. Sasuke sighed. Good. Then all of you pass. Congratulations, Squad 7, Kakashi began. And I would be thanking Hanabi if I were you too. No need, sensei, I don't need it, Hanabi replied. And before you leave, I want you all to remember, in the ninja world, he began but was cut off as Naruto walked out onto the field with Hinata. Those who break the rules are trash, but those who abandon their teammates are worse than trash. Right, Kakashi? Naruto asked as he fixed his sunglasses. Correct, Naruto. Kakashi's eyes smiled at him. Naruto-kun, ne-san, did you hear everything? Hanabi asked hopefully with a sweet smile. Indeed we did, Hanabi-chan. Naruto nodded while patting her head. Father will be pleased, Hanabi-ni-chan. Hinata added, feeling proud of her sister. What are you doing here? Sasuke asked rudely. I came here to watch Hanabi-chan. Sass, he said, and Sasuke gritted his teeth from that nickname. And I also came here to introduce you to some friends of mine. Friends you might recall, Kakashi. So the meta breed came out, and Kakashi immediately recognized them. Well, the meta breed. I haven't seen you 9 in years. Aben suddenly recognized Kakashi. I know you. You're that dog-masked ninja we met last time. Correct, Aben. I am Hitaki Kakashi. Kakashi replies as he took out his orange book to read. Who the hell are all of you? Sasuke asks rudely. Sasuke. Hanabi scolded him for rudeness. Please, what are your names? She asked, more respectful. I'm Aben, the master of shadow and darkness. Aben shook the little Hyuga's hand. This here's my crew. Talon, Shiv, Hotstreak, Kangar, Puff, Onyx, Carmen, and Ferret. So you're the people Naruto's told us about? In all honesty, only the kid seems to be the normal one, but you two say otherwise. Puff said, eyeing Sakura and Sasuke. What was that? Sasuke bellowed, about ready to attack, but Shiv formed a shield to block him. Not so fast, duck butt. Sasuke realized something. You're the ones responsible for Naruto's abilities. So what if we are kid? Aben asked. Train me, huh? Hotstreak wondered, and everyone else was shocked to hear him make demands. Train me how to use those powers. Aben thought on it. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh yeah, no. Sasuke's frown turned angrier. Why not? Because emo punk, you don't deserve any of our powers, Aben answered. Besides, we can't give you them anyway because you lack something Naruto has, which is classified, Kangar added. What's that? Sasuke demands. Didn't you hear the guy, man? He said, Classified, Naruto said using air quotes. Why you? Sasuke got ready to charge him until Kakashi blocked him. Sasuke dropped the attitude or you will be flunked. Sasuke lost the attitude and just left followed by Sakura. I'd say you got your work cut out for you, Kakashi, Aben said. Don't have to tell me that. Kakashi replied knowing he's right. Well Hanabi-chan, Hinata-chan, let's go see Ten-chan, Naruto said as he grew his body the size of Onyx followed by Talon's wings. The girls grabbed onto Naruto's back. Okay girls. Hang on. He took off into the air followed by Talon while the others went after him from the ground. Kakashi watched as they left. Sensei, Naruto's going to make an excellent ninja. You can be sure of that, he said seeing an image of Minato in Naruto. Meanwhile, Tenten was at the training ground where her team always met. After their training, Neji left and Lee and Guy went off to do something to strengthen their flames of youth. She looked up and saw he favorite Guy and two favorite girlfriends land on the ground followed by the breed approaching. Naruto-kun, Hinata, Hanabi, Tenten jumped off the log she was sitting on and embraced the three. Great to see you two Ten-chan. Were you waiting long? Naruto asked. Not at all Naruto-kun. Tenten kissed him. She looked at the Hyuga girls. So how'd you do? We both passed. Hinata answered. Even with the most pathetic lowlifes in the village for teammates, Hanabi added. Well congratulations, Tenten said until she saw the meta breed. Some were new to her except for Shiv and Hotstreak who she pointed at. You two came into my family's shop with Naruto years ago. I see you remember Hotstreak Sensei and Shiv Sensei, Ten-chan, Naruto began. But let me introduce you to the rest of them. This is Aben Sensei, Kanger Sensei, Talon Sensei, Carmen Sensei, Puff Sensei, Ferret Sensei, and Onyx Sensei. Aben approached the girl. Thanks for helping our little homie get some new threads homegirl. He shook her hand. No problem. Tenten replied. You sure grew when we last saw you. How've you been treating our little pal? Hotstreak nudged her shoulder. Fine. I've been treating him all right. Tenten blushed. I gotta say Naruto. Judging from these three beauties you've become quite the playa. Aben nudged him. Yeah, a regular playboy. Hotstreak added. Yeah kid, Puff added. Even I'm impressed. You got a girl your age, one who's younger, and an older one. Okay guys. You're making the girls blush. Naruto motioned to the three girls that were blushing in several shades of red. Come on girls. Let's get some lunch. Naruto said as he grew his body like Onyx's again only his feet turned into Kangors. Hop on girls, Naruto ordered as the three grabbed onto his back. Hang on tight. He shouted as he started hopping off while carrying them. Kids like us even more. Aben admitted. Yeah. And with three ladies at his side makes him a major pimp, Carmen added. Wonder if they can cook. The breed then headed after Naruto, and they were all having ramen at Ichiraku. Hey Naruto, who are you friends? Tucci asked. These are some of my previous senseis Tucci, he answered. Ayame looked back at them. You guys must be pretty strong to help Naruto-kun. Hotstreak smiled. Well what can I say? We're good with kids. My name's Francis by the way, but you can call me Hotstreak, he smirked. Ayame giggled at his flirtatious attempts. You're funny, Hotstreak. Hotstreak turned back to the breed. Hear that? She thinks I'm funny. Don't we all clown? Aben replied which got Hotstreak frowning. Way to kill a mood Aben. He grumbled. And Talon-san. I love your feathers. They're so extraordinary. Ayame said to the avian girl. Glad you think so. Talon said knowing not many would think of her like that. Hey this stuff's pretty good. Did you two really make this stuff? Carmen asked the owner. Who else? Tucci asked. Oh yeah not only does it taste good but it smells good too. Ferret added as he downed his bowl. Well girls starting tomorrow you start the tortures of hell, D-rank missions. Tenten explained to Hinata and Hanabi. They can't be all bad. Hinata replied. Hinata one time my team and I had to help a farmer carry bags of manure, and my insane sensei and teammate had a contest to carry the bags on their backs. Tenten began. Those bags burst open covering them with the stuff. Neji and I swore for them not to come near us for a week. Yikes. The two Hyugas and Blonde feared. Well that won't be a problem for me. I'll just use my cage buncheons to get the job done. And with my powers they'll be even easier to get done, He began until he wanted to make sure of something, but there's one thing I want you three to promise me, okay? What is it, Naruto-kun? Hanabi asked. Whatever happens we're all still friends, okay? You bet. The girls nodded. Thanks girls. I know I can count on you. Naruto smiled, but wasn't prepared for the three to each give him a kiss on his lips. Yeah baby. The breed along with the ramen father and daughter chuckled at Naruto's luck with the ladies, and the guys praised him. With the rookies now officially ninja, their ninja careers have only just begun. In the city of Dakota, its local superheroes Static and Gear were searching around an abandoned warehouse. I don't get it, Verge. Why have the meta breed been suddenly disappearing so much? Gear asked Static. Don't know, Rich. It's weird though, Static said until he saw a picture hanging up. Yo Gear, come and see this. Gear roller skated to Static. You find something? Only this. Static showed him the picture. It was of the meta breed with a little blonde kid in the middle with them. What was surprising them was how the breed looked all friendly and happy with the kid. It's Aben and Breed, but who's the kid? Gear asked. I don't know, but if we find the breed again we'll make them talk, Static promised. Meanwhile back in Konoha, Naruto was in the Hokage's office signing something. There. Another D-rank mission in the books. Thank you very much, Naruto said as he took a bite out of a chocolate bar. I'm impressed, Naruto. This is your 50th D-rank mission and you've only been at it a week, Sarutobi said. Well Gigi, with Kage Bunshins on your side I could accomplish 100 within a month, Naruto answered with a small laugh. Iruka was watching Naruto from the side table as the Hokage's assistant now that the academy kids were graduates. Naruto, you're really doing this village a remarkable service. You made us all proud. Iruka thought until the door opened and Kakashi with Team 7 walked in. Mission a success, Hokage-sama, Kakashi explained to the elder. Excellent, Kakashi. Sarutobi congratulates. Hokage-sama, could we possibly get a C rank this time? Hanabi began. I mean we have passed the extended amount of completed D ranks, haven't we? Yes please Hokage-sama, Sakura pleaded while deep down. I'm tired of all these stupid D ranks, inner Sakura shouted. Well I don't see why not, the Hokage answered and turned to Naruto. Naruto, would you like to join Squad 7 on this next mission? I'm game. Gigi. Naruto replied to the Hokage, which caused Hanabi to beam with joy, Sakura to face fault, and Sasuke to growl. Very well. Iruka, send in Tazuna. Sarutobi commanded and Iruka went and came back with an old man holding a bottle of sake. What? These are the people you hired to protect me? He asked. They don't look much, especially the short girl. He motioned to Hanabi as the girl was ready to attack their client, but Kakashi held her back. Tazuna turned to Naruto and looked at him oddly, and this one looks freaky. He added but froze when he felt an energy needle fly past him nailing a wall. Naruto smirked. You were saying old-timer? Tazuna blinked a few times before answering. All of a sudden I feel real safe. Well then why don't you explain to them the situation? Sarutobi asked Tazuna. Well thing is, I'm a bridge builder from the Wave Country. I've been hard at work building the land a new bridge and I came here to get some more supplies. Now that I'm going home I need protection from rival parties. Tazuna explained. Very well. Everyone return home and pack. We leave in 1 hour. Kakashi explained as his team exited through the door while Naruto went through a portal. While at the Namikaze mansion, Naruto explained his new mission to Aben and the others. Well kid, looks like you finally earned yourself a stronger mission, Aben said. Hope it all goes well. Talon added. And I hope you get to bust the ass of some punk while you're on it. Hotstreak added in hope. Well I'm not counting on it, Hotstreak sensei. I mean if I was given the job to fight someone it would have been B ranked, Naruto explained. This C rank is supposed to be an escort. Still you never know what's out there, Aben replied, assuring him to watch his back regardless. Right, Aben sensei, Naruto replied as he finished packing his bag and headed for the door. I'll see you when I return, and don't cause mischief here in the village, without me. Naruto joked before leaving. At the Hyuga compound, Hanabi just finished packing as well. Hanabi, are you finished? Her father asked. Hi father. I'm ready, and heading out, Hanabi said walking past him, and he mentioned, be careful out there. Hanabi smiled knowing how much he cares for her, and soon she met up with her sister outside. I sure wish you could come with sister. I know how much you'd want to be on a mission with Naruto-kun. Well, you just make sure Naruto-kun stays out of trouble. Hinata replied, and the sisters giggled right before Hanabi headed off. Right at the village main gate, Hanabi made it, followed by Naruto jumping his way over with his huge feet and landing before them. How do you do that? Tazuna asks the blonde, who shrunk his feet to normal size. Let's say I had help from friends. Naruto replied, which got the Uchiha boy scowling. Kakashi's eyes smiled. Well, if everyone's ready, let's get going. As they turned and ready to leave, they heard two squeals behind them. Naruto-kun. Naruto turned to see Tenten and Hinata lunging for him and tackled him to the ground with him on the bottom. Gomen, Naruto-kun, but we just had to see you off. Hinata replied as she got off him. Yeah, if Hanabi-san's going to be having you all to herself for the next few days or so, we want to at least get some before you left. Tenten added as he pulled Naruto into a kiss which stunned Sakura and Tazuna, while Kakashi was blushing while thinking naughty stuff, while Sasuke scowled. Don't hog him, Tenten-san, Hinata said as she got her kiss from Naruto. Dobi, are you done yet? Sasuke asked rudely. Naruto turned back to Sasuke while smirking. You know you could try kissing a girl for once, Sasuke. Naruto replied, which got Sakura to think dirty thoughts about that while Sasuke turned away from him. So after Naruto got his goodbye kisses from Hinata and Tenten, they took off with the girls waving goodbye. So about half an hour later they were walking down the path, and each other them were doing certain things to keep themselves preoccupied. Naruto and Hanabi were up front of the group with Naruto singing a little, while behind them Sakura was pestering Sasuke about stuff he didn't care about, while he tried tuning her out. Kakashi was reading his orange book, while Tazuna took a swig of sake. Naruto continued humming until he noticed a puddle of water on the side of the road. A puddle of water on a bright sunny day? Naruto thought, knowing something wasn't right. He looked through a small mirror he kept hidden in his coat sleeve and saw Kakashi behind and saw him glancing at the puddle too. Looks like he's weary of it too. As they continued walking along, Naruto waited for the right moment until, Naruto spun and launched giant light energy shurikens at the puddle, and what emerged from it was a camouflaged cloaked man with a gas mask who vanished as he left the puddle. Kakashi knew it was an ambush, took charge, everyone on guard. Kakashi called as Sasuke, Hanabi, and Sakura protected Tazuna. Suddenly in a blur something flown past Kakashi, and the Cyclops Jonin found himself wrapped in a binding chain, and the two chain links linked to the one figure and another who were wearing giant metal gauntlets. We gotcha now, one of the assassins said through the gas mask. Not likely, Naruto shouted as he sent a poof of vapor smoke at the chains which melted them, thus freeing Kakashi. What? The second assassin gasped as he and the other lost control of Kakashi and appeared up in a tree. Kakashi looks up at them. If I'm not mistaken, you two are the Oni brothers Guzu and Maizu, Nukanen of Kiri. Well brother, someone knows our reputation, Maizu said to the other. Indeed we have, brother. Just wait until he dies, then we'll really be renowned, Guzu added. Before they were ready to strike, they were struck from the back by a blast of fire coming from a Naruto Kage Bunshin. They jumped away from the full impact only to have another clone breath the melting vapor on their hands, thus melting their metal gauntlets. Guzu turned to get away but was met with a spin kick courtesy of Naruto's oversized foot, while Maizu headed the other way only to be punched by Kakashi. The brothers headed right for each other and crashed into each other's heads, thus knocking them unconscious. Whoa! Sakura and Hanabi gasped on how Naruto and Kakashi handled the brothers. Naruto then dispelled his clone. Good thing I made a clone an hour before we left, and watched us in case something happened, Naruto explained. That was good thinking, Naruto. Well done. Kakashi began and turned to his squad, and well done Team 7 in protecting our merchant. He began feeling proud of them, but squinted his eye to Tazuna. Now then, Tazuna, I believe you have some explaining to do. We have to talk, he began. The squad looked at Tazuna with confusion while the merchant looked guilty of something. You realize that a mission that involved Nukanen targeting you should be a B rank mission, not a C rank, Kakashi explained. I'm sorry, but the Land of Waves is a poverty-stricken land. There was no way we could afford a B rank mission, Tazuna explained sadly. Our country used to be happy with all of us living peacefully, but that all faded away when Gato moved in. Gato? Hanabi asked. Yes. He's a major company tycoon who took over the country with his money and high-level connections. Tazuna began. Him and his goons have been forcing us to rely on his shipping company only to charge us with unfair prices. How horrible. Sakura gasped. I know, Tazuna answered. The bridge I'm building, however, is the key to ending his reign. How so? Naruto asked. Gato and his company control the waters, and with the bridge we won't be forced to rely on him anymore. The old man continued. Well, normally we should report back and tell this to the Hokage of what just happened, Kakashi answered. I understand. But, they'll kill me before I even get home. Please, I'm begging you. This isn't just for me. It's for everyone in my land, Tazuna said, looking desperate. Very well. We'll stay and protect you for the time it takes you to build the bridge, Kakashi answered. Arigato, Tazuna said with a bow. Well then, what are we waiting for? Let's roll. Naruto called and the others nodded. After tying the Oni brothers to a tree, they continued on. As Naruto walked with Hanabi, she pulled on his sleeve and he looks down at her. Naruto-kun, what you did back there with Kakashi-sensei was real cool. Thanks, Hanabi-chan. And word of caution, you should be careful, he said seriously. We may be facing against someone more powerful than us or even Kakashi. I'd hate to see someone special to me lose their life. Hanabi then motioned Naruto to get down to her level. Naruto did so and got his cheek pinched by Hanabi the same way he did to her. You're cute when you care, she says to him using the words he said to Hinata, and he blushed. After the fight with the Oni brothers, Squad 7, Naruto, and Tazuna had taken a ferry ride to Wave and were on their way to Tazuna's home. As they walked, Naruto was in discussion with Kyuubi. Yo Nar, what's up? You still look a little tense. Judging from what Tazuna said about being targeted, it's pretty safe to assume the Oni brothers were just the test sent by Gato. Naruto began. I got the feeling he's gonna be sending someone just as stronger next time. He squinted. Nothing escapes you, huh, kid? Kyuubi asked with a chuckle. I like to keep an open mind, Kyuubi. You should try it sometimes. Naruto smirked and the Kyuubi looked confused. Hanabi noticed Naruto was deep in thought. At first she wondered, but then realized he was communicating with the Kyuubi. As they were walking, Naruto felt that something was in the bushes. He quickly summoned a light kunai and threw it into the bush. Everyone jumped back ready to fight, but Kakashi, and he walked over to the bush, stuck his hand in and pulled out a terrified white rabbit. Oops. Naruto said sheepishly while Sasuke and Hanabi face fault and sighed. Sakura on the other hand felt like scolding him. Stop messing around, Yubaka. I know something was there and it was no rabbit, Naruto explained seriously. Kakashi stared cautiously at the white rabbit. He held it until he realized its fur was white and not brown. Naruto was onto something. Everybody, get down, he ordered. Suddenly a gigantic sword spun through the air like a boomerang and almost nailed them if they hadn't ducked upon Kakashi's orders. The sword got impaled in the tree as the group looked shocked. Seems you guys really are perceptive, a voice said as a figure appearing standing on the lodged sword's blade. It was a man wearing brown and white camouflage pants, and arm covers, a kiri headband, and white cloth wrapped around his mouth and nose. Whoa! Hanabi gasped at the tower of a man. Kakashi firmed his opened eye and readies himself if anything were to happen. Well, if it isn't my lucky day, the ninja began. I get to fight the infamous copy ninja. Hitaki Kakashi. Hanabi, Sasuke, Sakura, protect Tazuna now, Kakashi ordered, and the three genin ran in front of Tazuna in a triangle formation. Naruto backed them up. He added, and Naruto summoned two clones to add another layer to the triangular formation. You're leaving an old man's life in the hands of mere children? The ninja asked. I trust them with my life, Zabuza answered. Judging by your sword and headband, you're Zabuza Momochi, the demon of Kiri. Well, I do have a certain reputation, Zabuza admitted with a slight laugh. Kakashi-sensei, who is he? Hanabi asked, but before Kakashi could speak, Naruto answered. Zabuza Momochi is a rogue ninja from Kiri. He's legendary for once being part of the legendary 7 Shinobi swordsmen. Years ago, however, the group disbanded after a failed attempt in the assassination of the Mizukage, ruler of the Land of Water. Zabuza chuckled. You did your homework, boy. I'm impressed, but I came here for an opportunity to fight Kakashi of the Sharingan, he said. Against an opponent like you, I'll need my trump card, Kakashi said as he grabbed his headband and pulled it up, revealing his eye. which he opened, and there was the Sharingan, and a bad scar vertically over it. So the Sharingan eye of the late Uchiha Obito, Dad's deceased student. Naruto thought, intrigued. Let's get started, Zabuza called as he quickly grabbed the handle of his sword and kicked off the tree, pulling the sword free and disappearing. He reappeared on the small lake nearby and formed a hand sign, and the natural mist started picking up. What the? Sakura asked. The mist is getting thicker? Be careful, guys. Kakashi warned them. Now that I have you in my Kirigakure no Jutsu, the playing field is in my favor, Zabuza declared. Everyone looked around, seeing the mist had gotten so thick, they couldn't tell where anyone was. This is bad, Sasuke said. What are we going to do? Sakura asked. Leave that to me, Sakura, Hanabi asked as she formed a hand sign, Byakugan. She shouted, activating her own Kekkei Genkei. Through her vision she was able to see through the mist and everyone's chakra network. That's using your eyes, Hanabi-chan, Naruto called as he and his clones turned their arms into energy blades. Kakashi formed a hand sign and chakra burst from his body and dissipated the mist near them and the immediate around them. They looked around, seeing no sign of Zabuza until his voice rung out, Die. He appeared before Squad 7 and destroyed Naruto's 2 clones, and ready to kill Tazuna. Get back, Naruto shouted. While everyone jumped back, he released his screech at Zabuza, who lost a moment of concentration from that scream, just long enough for Kakashi to jab a kunai in his gut. Stop his movements. However, blood didn't pour to the ground from the grave wound, but water instead, and then the body broke down into simple water as Zabuza appeared right behind Kakashi. You saw through my Mizu Bunshin. Impressive, but this is over, Zabuza said as he swung his massive sword to shred Kakashi in two, effectively slicing him in two. Sensei! Sakura yelled in fright. Suddenly Kakashi's 2 halves broke down into water like Zabuza's Mizu Bunshin. He used one too? Zabuza gasped until he felt a kunai near his throat from Kakashi, who was behind him. On the contrary, Zabuza. Now it's over, Kakashi replied. Zabuza laughed. I'm not defeated so easily, he called as he broke down into water and Kakashi's eyes widened in stun. Zabuza appeared right behind Kakashi, and swung his sword horizontally, only for the sword to be intercepted by Naruto using a combo of Onyx's strength and Shiv's energy knives to block the swordsman. I know you want to fight Kakashi the most, but how about I make the fight more worthwhile? You're an intriguing one, boy, but out of your league. Zabuza forced Naruto back, who landed at Kakashi's side. Are you sure you're ready for this, Naruto? Kakashi asked in concern. I'm always ready, Naruto answered as his legs grew long and feet grew big. The two fought Zabuza, who was using his sword to try and slice them, but with Kakashi's Sharingan and Naruto's quick thinking they were able to dodge them. When Zabuza formed a water dragon jutsu, Kakashi did the same, resulting in their attacks colliding, thus sending water everywhere. Now while he's distracted, Naruto called as Kyuubi's voice spoke to him. Here's some strength, kid. It's not a lot, but use it well. Suddenly Naruto's Jinchuriki chakra started surrounding him as Zabuza thought, feeling the air grow heavier around them. What is this I'm feeling? It's not normal, Zabuza thought. Naruto formed hand signs and called, Taju Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. He called, summoning a vast number of clones appearing around Zabuza. They all conjured fireballs from their fists. So many Kage Bunshins. Zabuza gasped as he brought up his sword, ready to stop whatever fire attack Naruto was prepared to use. Let's see you block this, Uzumaki Naruto style. The real one began as he and the clones combined their fire into one big sphere of flames. Ryuka Bakuha. Dragon Fire Blast. All the Narutos shouted as they fired the giant flame sphere into a blast at Zabuza, knocking him backwards. No way, how'd his fire ability grow so strong? Sasuke thought while feeling envious. When did Naruto get so good? Sakura thought in shock. Such a powerful attack, but was it enough? Kakashi thought. Naruto-kun. Hanabi thought, worried. When the blast died down, Naruto saw Zabuza lying on the ground covered in third-degree burns. I've never felt anything so painful. He groaned as Kakashi approached him while gazing down. It's over now, Zabuza. Kakashi was prepared to finish him. Suddenly 2 needles flew through the air and pierced Zabuza's, making him fall lifeless to the ground. Everyone was in shock as a ninja in a robe and a white mask with a red swirl on it appeared. Thank goodness. I've been tracking Zabuza for some time now. I feared I lost his trail. Thanks to whatever you were all doing I caught up to him, the ninja explained. Who are you? Kakashi asked. I'm a tracker ninja from Kirigakure. I was tasked to seek Zabuza out and dispose of him. The ninja explained. You all made my job much easier. Kakashi checked Zabuza's pulse just to be sure. There are no vital signs. He really is dead, he said, which got the genin and Tazuna sighing in relief. The tracker picked Zabuza up. I thank you once again for your help, but I must be going now. He disappeared with the corpse. Naruto powered down his powers and took a breath of relief as Hanabi approached. Naruto-kun, are you okay? She asked. Fine, he smirked and hugged her. How about you? Never better. She hugged him back. Everyone else okay? Kakashi asked as Sakura, Tazuna, and Sasuke nodded in assurance. Okay, let's press on. So they continued on as Naruto looked back at where the tracker ninja vanished with Zabuza still feeling concerned about what just happened. Soon enough, after the fight with Zabuza, Squad 7 and Naruto were at Tazuna's place. They were introduced to the old man's daughter Tsunami, who was very grateful for them helping her dad home safely. They also met the old man's grandson Inari, who just up and told them to return home before they were killed, which got Naruto and the others confused. As they sat around a table, Tsunami served them some tea. So is there not much we can do but wait until Tazuna's bridge is finished? Naruto asked as he kicked back. Well, I doubt Gato will be sending anybody else so soon, but I still am curious about what happened back in the forest. Kakashi answered. What do you mean, sensei? Sakura asked curiously. That tracker ninja, he wasn't who he appeared to be, the Jonin answered. What are you talking about? Sasuke asked in wonder. Those needles he used on Zabuza, they were senbon, and those are only used in acupuncture treatments. If aimed at the right spot, one can put another in a temporary death state, he explained. So Zabuza is still alive? Hanabi gasped. That's exactly what I mean. Damn it. Naruto groaned. Back out in the forest, further from where Squad 7 fought Zabuza, the tracker ninja was getting his supplies together while Zabuza laid on the ground unconscious still. Suddenly his eyes shot open and he took in deep breaths. The tracker looked back. About time you woke up. Zabuza growled as he plucked the senbon from his neck and turned to the tracker. Damn it, Haku, were you trying to kill me for real? The tracker named Haku answered. I had no intention of that at all, Zabuza. Next time you put me in a temporary death state, don't do it in my neck, he groaned. My apologies. So what do we do now? First I need to rest up, and when I'm healed I'll find Kakashi and finish him and those brats, he promised. I understand, Haku said as he removed his mask, revealing he had a feminine appearance. Back at Tazuna's, Naruto spoke. So if Zabuza's still out there with that tracker, what do we do now? Kakashi turned to his squad. We'll all need to train these guys up so they'll be prepared for next time. Why go through the trouble when you're just going to die? A voice said as they saw Inari on the stairs. Inari. Tsunami gasped. No, it's all a waste. Just get out and go home, he ran upstairs. Kids. Naruto sighed. Later that day, Kakashi, Squad 7, and Naruto were in the forest outside Tazuna's place. This spot will do just fine. What did you bring us out here for? Sasuke asked. I'm going to teach you guys a basic chakra exercise to improve your chakra control, he explained. But how? Hanabi asked. Well, watch and learn, Kakashi said as he approached a tree and concentrated his chakra before putting one of his feet against the trunk, and to the squad's surprise he started walking up the tree itself. No way. Sasuke gasped. Wow. Sakura gasped. Kakashi threw 3 kunai down into the ground. Use those to cut the trunk at your highest point, he instructed. They all picked up a kunai and looked at tree of their own and all took off at them. Hanabi got to a tree and formed a hand sign to focus her chakra at her feet, and then she planted her foot on the tree and tried running up it, and she got 2 steps before slipping and slashing the mark into the tree, and landing on her rear. Sasuke ran up about 5 steps, and on the last one his foot created a foot-shaped dent in the bark and the tree, and he slashed a mark before flipping down and landing. Kakashi looked on impressed as they continued. Well, looks like they so far got it down. Kakashi chuckled inwardly. Hi guys. Sakura's voice was heard. and they looked up and saw her on top of her tree sitting on a branch. "Well done, Sakura," Kakashi said. Hanabi looked envious, and Sasuke only looked jealous, which got Sakura upset, but she was soon brought out of her thought when another voice called, "Not bad to try, Sakura," Naruto said. Everyone looked up further and Naruto was on a higher branch on his tree. "Hey guys, it's quite a better view from up here," Naruto calls down. "Congrats, Naruto-kun," Hanabi cheered. "Hold on," Sasuke calls. "How'd you get up there so easily?" "Well, I'll let you in on a little secret," Naruto began. "I learned this stuff during our academy years, outside the academy to be precise." "But how?" Sakura asked. "I was taught this by some of the other Jonins in the village. The ones who were actually nice to me," Naruto explained. "Yes. I expected Naruto would make it up top," Kakashi replied. "What, sensei, you taught Naruto this already?" Sakura asked. "Well, this was before I was sensei, and I had a lot of free time on my hands," Kakashi says. Sasuke could only growl because Naruto of all people was taught by higher-ranking shinobi when they were only academy students. Naruto stood on his branch and spread his arms with the wings growing on them. He let himself fall forward only to glide down and fly back up into the air. "Since Hanabi-chan and Sasuke got more work to do, I'm going off to train on other matters. So catch you later." He flew off. When it was nighttime at Tazuna's place, his daughter Tsunami was already cooking. "Naruto hasn't come back yet, it's awfully late," she says, a little worried. "If he's dead out there it won't be our problem because he's not a part of our squad," Sasuke replied. "Leave him alone, Sasuke. Naruto-kun can take care of himself," Hanabi shouted. "That's a first," Sakura put in. "If you weren't on this squad I would hurt you." Hanabi turned to the Banshee. "Please," Sakura replied, not feeling intimidated by her. "Okay girls, that's enough," Kakashi said, getting between them. Inari just watched from around a corner with a scowl on his face, but soon it changed when everyone started hearing flute music. "Where's that coming from?" Tazuna wondered. "Outside," Hanabi replied. "Careful, it might be Zabuza again," Sasuke said cautiously. Kakashi looked wide-eyed listening to it. "No, only one flute makes a sound like that," he said, getting up and went to the window to see Naruto sitting by the ocean playing on a black flute that looked like a dagger shaped in the style of the crescent moon. Soon everyone else watched from the window. "When did Naruto learn how to play?" Sakura asked. "So beautiful," Hanabi says, listening to the melody. "Where'd he even get that odd-looking flute?" Sasuke asked. Kakashi said nothing, but went outside following the melody to Naruto. Naruto stopped playing and looked behind him. "Oh Kakashi, what's up?" "Naruto, can you please tell me where you got that flute?" Kakashi asked as he sat down beside him. "Well Kakashi, since you probably know, my old man left it to me," Naruto answered. Flashback: Naruto was going through some things in his dad's old closet and suddenly something wrapped in cloth fell down. "Huh, what's this?" Naruto asked as he picked it up and removed the cloth to find the black flute in it. "A flute?" he asked as he looked at the cloth to find writing written on it. "Naruto, if you found this flute, then I should tell you this was a present given to me by my own father, who was given it by his and beyond. Among many Namikaze heirlooms, this was by far my most treasured item. The music it plays is the most peaceful sound you'll ever hear. Learn how to play it and make our name live on through its melodious sound. Love your father." So Naruto also found some musical formulas and notes stashed in the closet, and soon he began practicing and practicing. Even the meta breed found his music enjoyable and soothing to their minds. Flashback ends. And that's how it happened. Naruto finished and Kakashi looked stunned. The copy nin was ready to say more, but Naruto stopped him. "You don't have to say anything, Kakashi. I know it all. My father Namikaze Minato was your sensei, and your Sharingan was from your late teammate Uchiha Obito," Naruto explained, which made Kakashi feel a little depressed about remembering two of his precious people. "Well Naruto, I'm sorry you had to find out like that," Kakashi said. "Yeah, but can I ask you something?" Naruto asks, which got Kakashi's attention. "What was my dad like?" he asked with a hint of sadness. Kakashi sighed. He knew his sensei's son deserved to know. "Well Naruto, your father was a kind, generous man. To me he was like a father figure. To the village he was more than just the Hokage. He was everybody's best friend." He let out a small chuckle. Heck, even the younger generation back then looked to him as a real hero and not because of what he, well, you know. Yeah, and about my mom. How much did you know about her? Naruto asked, still wanting to know more about his parents. Well, your mother Kushina is where you got the last name people addressed you with. She was tough, mischievous, and a prankster just like you who didn't take crap from anybody. Kakashi began. She was also a beautiful woman, and your dad loved her very much. But she was one cranky pregnant lady, although to be fair, if I was pregnant with you. He chuckled. Hey, Naruto said, telling him to watch it. Kakashi just chuckled. Even Naruto's old personality reminded him of his sensei once in a while. Naruto just shook it off and continued his flute playing. The next morning, out in the forest early one morning as the sun rose, Naruto was getting in some extra training before he returned to Tazuna's to eat. After he finished his workout, he powered down and spoke to himself. Well, time to head back. He started walking until he froze as his ferret snout grew and he sniffed the air. Wait a minute. That smell, it's familiar. Smells like that tracker ninja. He started following the trail while making sure to be absolutely careful. If this ninja was good enough to put Zabuza in a temporary death state, then he shouldn't be taken lightly. He followed the scent until he looked ahead, seeing someone picking herbs and putting them in a basket. It was Haku, dressed in a pink yukata. Naruto eyed the tracker's appearance. Is that a girl? He looked at the chest and eyed it very carefully. No, it's a boy, thanked Kami. He started walking casually and spoke. Hey there. Haku was startled until he looked over and gasped upon seeing Naruto. He's one of those Konoha shinobi, he thought before putting a smile on to hide his shock. Oh, hello. What are you doing out here this early? He asked. I was just picking herbs for medicines. Haku answered truthfully. I see. Naruto answered. Yes. What about you? I was getting in some morning exercise. I see. What's your name? It's Naruto, and yours? I'm Haku. He answered as he continued to pick some herbs. A pleasure. Naruto answered. Are you a ninja? I ask because I noticed your headband. Haku noted. As a matter of fact, I am. You must be pretty strong, Haku said. Well, I don't like to brag. Naruto replied sheepishly while Haku giggled. Tell me, is there someone in your life precious to you? Yeah, I got a lot of special people in my life. Why do you ask? I believe when you got someone precious to you to fight for, it makes you fight harder and gets you stronger. Haku said, looking up at the sky. You don't say. Yes. Haku smiled. Then I take it fighting to protect Zabuza is what makes you stronger, Naruto guessed. Haku's smile shifted into shock as he looked at Naruto. What do you? I know who you are, Naruto began. You're that tracker ninja that was supposed to have taken care of Zabuza. You're really his accomplice, aren't you? Haku was getting more shocked by the minute but sighed, knowing the secret was out. How do you know? You got a particular scent on you I picked up from when we first met you. Naruto explained, leaving Haku confused about what he meant by scent. So you know now? Haku replied. Yeah, where is Zabuza? I won't tell you. Haku frowned. All right, then answer me this. Why do you follow Zabuza? Haku was taken aback by this question and answered, because he saved me. Saved you? From what? Loneliness, he answered. What? I was alone for years until Zabuza found me. You're an orphan. I am, ever since when my father tried to kill me. Your dad tried to kill you. Why? Naruto asked. Because of this. Haku said as he held out a hand, and suddenly materializing in it was an ice crystal. Whoa. How'd you do that? It's my bloodline. You've got a bloodline? Yes. Because of this bloodline my father tried to kill me as he did my mother, Haku explained sadly. I don't understand, Naruto admitted. You see, I was born in Kurigaka, and many years ago bloodline families were loathed upon because everyone felt that such families were the cause of shinobi wars. When my father found out the woman he married was part of a bloodline of Hyouten users, he murdered her with extreme prejudice, he explained as Naruto's shock grew. Because of this I ended up killing my father in my own rage. Since that day I was on my own with nowhere to call home. Then Zabuza found me and took me under his wing, teaching me how to control my bloodline that he would use to his benefit. From then on I was Zabuza's tool, nothing more and nothing less. Naruto frowned. A tool? What a load of garbage. Haku was surprised at his outrage but spoke. That's the life of shinobi. We're all tools used under the order of the village leader. Maybe through a perspective like that, But it's not how I feel, Naruto argued. It's all I have. Zabuza brought me out of my lonely life and gave me a new purpose. Haku continued to explain. Well, that purpose is pathetic. People shouldn't have to be treated like tools, even you. Even if I could change, it wouldn't matter because I have nothing else to live for, Haku answered, only to get punched in the face by Naruto. Ouch. Don't spit lies like that at me. Everyone has something to live for. You just need to find it. Naruto, Haku gasped. Naruto continued frowning until it softened. Go. What? Go now, before I change my mind, he answered. Why are you letting me? I'm giving you time to come to your senses, and if you haven't by the next time we meet, then I won't hold back. I understand. Haku nodded as he got up and bowed his head before walking off. Naruto watched Haku leave and sighed. Kyuubi spoke to him. You're just going to let him go? We'll see him again anyway, he replied. Besides, I don't think he likes being Zabuza's tool as much as he sounds like he does. If you say so. Are you going to tell anybody else? Not a chance. Later on, Naruto had returned that morning, still not telling anyone about Haku. Sasuke and Hanabi continued working on the chakra exercise while Sakura went to keep an eye on Tazuna. That night, everyone finished dinner while Kakashi gave out instructions. Well, seeing as how you three and Naruto completed your training exercise, starting tomorrow you're all bodyguards for Tazuna. The four smiled at their latest order as Tazuna spoke. The bridge should be completed very soon as well. And I have you guys to thank for that. No problem, it's what we do. Naruto answered as he fixed his sunglasses while noticing Inari flinching. Suddenly he stood up and slammed his hands on the table, startling everyone. You're all just wasting your time and butting into our business, he shouted. No matter how you look at it, the strong always win and the weak always die. Hey, speak for yourself, kid, because I'm not a weakling, Naruto countered. Shut up, Inari bellowed. You have no business coming here at all. Everyone here's suffered so much pain since Gato arrived. Treating everyone like dirt, while you just goof off. You'd never understand what anyone here has gone through. Naruto finally had it and shouted, Shut up, you stupid little brat. This got Inari scared. You think you know everything about me? Well, you don't. Some of us have suffered far worse than you ever could. So say what you want, but never tell me what suffering is. Everyone was shocked as Naruto spoke. I'm going out. He opened a shadow portal and went through it as it vanished. Later that night out in the woods, Naruto was using every single bang baby power he had to destroy some of the trees surrounding him. After 2 hours, Naruto stood surrounded by fallen trees. He dropped to the ground panting. Okay, maybe I overdid it. Ya think? Kyuubi thought. Naruto got himself back to the feet and sat down next to a tree he hadn't destroyed. I hope that kid takes my words to heart and not get worse from it. He started playing his flute. The next morning, Hanabi looked into Naruto's room to see her blonde boyfriend passed out on his futon. I guess Naruto-kun came home late last night, she said to herself as she met up with his squad. Since Naruto wore himself out last night from non-stop training, he'll have to sit this one out until he gets his energy back, Kakashi explained. Don't worry, I'll look after him, Tsunami assured them. So Squad 7 went out, and about an hour later Naruto's eyes flung open and he sat straight up. He groaned from exhaustion and noticed no one was around. He got dressed and hurried downstairs, finding Tsunami doing dishes. Yo, where is everyone? They went on ahead and decided to give you a day off, Tsunami answered. Well, we'll see who gets left behind, Naruto exclaimed, and he dashed out the door. He started running through the forest knowing what was in store. No doubt Zabuza and Haku are going to the bridge to try and stop Kakashi and the others. I can't let those two harm them. Even if Haku doesn't seem like a bad person, I have to do whatever it takes, he said as he spread his wings and started flying off for the bridge. About half an hour later, he was getting closer to his destination and saw a blanket of fog all around the bridge. That's the same jutsu Zabuza used last time. I hope I'm not too late, he flew down. Meanwhile, inside the fog, Zabuza and Kakashi were going at it the same way as they were in the forest, while Hanabi and Sasuke were defending themselves from Haku, and Sakura was protecting Tazuna. As Haku was about to attack Hanabi, he froze upon hearing flute music approaching. Even the two Jonin froze and looked all around the bridge. Where's that coming from? Zabuza demanded. Our backup. Kakashi answered as they saw it was coming from a lone figure in the mist who came into clear revealing to be Naruto. Naruto continued playing until he stopped in front of them and put his flute away. Now who said you guys could start without me? Naruto-kun, Hanabi cheered. You're the brat who was foolish enough to take me head on last time, Zabuza began, but this time you're the one who's gonna get it. Naruto grew his feet big and jumped forward to spin kick Haku, but the boy vanished and he landed near Sakura and Tazuna. He really is faster than he let on, Naruto noted. Suddenly Haku appeared before Sasuke. Now we end this. He formed a single hand sign, Hyouden. Makyu Hyosho. He called as ice started forming around Sasuke like a giant dome and the boy was facing multiple mirrors that surrounded him. What jutsu is this? Sasuke said to himself as he readied a kunai. Suddenly Haku started appearing in all the mirrors and held senbon. The needles were thrown at Sasuke from all directions and started cutting Sasuke's skin and a few stuck into his body. One senbon knocked the kunai spinning out of his hand, and another knocked it away. The barrage of needles ceased and Sasuke looked up. Where the hell are these damn needles coming from? He asked. Sasuke was getting bombarded from all sides by flying needles, and Kakashi tried to run and render his student aid but Zabuza got in his way. If you fight, it's against me, he said readying his sword. You can help your precious student, but I'll kill the girls and the bridge builder. So what's it going to be? Save one and lose two or fight me and lose the boy? Kakashi. Naruto called. You deal with Zabuza. I got Sasuke's back. Naruto rushed over. No. Zabuza tried to make a Mizu Bunshin but Kakashi attacked making sure he wouldn't have the chance. Meanwhile back inside the dome, Haku continued throwing needles from the mirrors to attack Sasuke but much sooner the Uchiha was avoiding them much easier than before. He opened his yes to reveal he activated his Sharingan. As Sasuke continued fighting he spotted Naruto behind him. Naruto Udobi, what are you doing in here? Relax Teme. I'm a clone, the real me is outside the barrier, the clone explained. What are you trying to do anyway? Sasuke asked. Saving your life. The clone answered as he activated a shadow portal while the real one outside stood close to his clone to help strengthen it. If you value your life Sasuke, you'll jump in. Sasuke hesitated before speaking. You better be right about this. He ran and dove into the shadow portal. The clone was then attacked by Haku which led to his dispersing. While outside the barrier Sasuke came out of the real Naruto's shadow portal. I made it. Sasuke gasped. Was there ever any doubt? Naruto asked when suddenly the barrier dropped and Haku reappeared. Haku. I gave you a chance to reconsider your actions, but you go and waste them on Zabuza. I'm sorry Naruto, but it's Zabuza's order that I must kill you and your friends now. Haku began as he fired needles. Not if I can help it. Naruto shouted before turning his arms into energy knives and sliced away the needles. Time to boil you alive. Naruto got ready to use fire. Naruto, that won't work. His ice is too strong to melt. Sasuke warned him. Well then let's do it together. Naruto replied as his energy knives turned into fire knives. Naruto jumped into the air above causing everyone to see him and Sasuke was below him. Naruto and Sasuke made it out. Sakura called. Thank goodness. Hanabi sighed. While up in the air, Naruto spreaded his arm knives made from fire and began to spin rapidly, hot streak Shiv style. Fire knife bombs. Naruto shouted as knives made from fire launched from his rotating body which began raining down on Haku who jumped backwards to try and avoid them giving Sasuke an opening with his fireball jutsu. Haku managed to use an ice shield to block it. Naruto let himself fall growing his arms into giant and bulky purple to slam into Haku's head knocking the mask of his face. Haku suddenly slipped away. You're stronger than I gave you credit for, Haku began, but I'm just as strong. He finished sending ice shards to Naruto and Sasuke. Don't you see Kakashi? Zabuza said as he slashed at him cutting his chest. I trained Haku to be the ultimate tool, to help me get my revenge on the Mist Village. He's the greatest weapon in the world, he ranted. Is that all you consider him? A tool? A weapon? Kakashi asked shocked. I wouldn't expect you of all people to understand, Kakashi, Zabuza replied. Do you hear that? Naruto asked. He doesn't even think of you as a person. Please give up now, Haku explained. This is your last chance. I will aim for fatal wounds now. We're not giving up. Naruto warned him. Why do you fight so hard? Is the bridge builder special to you? Haku asked. Every life is special. Naruto shouted. I mean no disrespect on how Zabuza spared you from loneliness, but this is no way to repay him. I owe it to Zabuza, he gave me my reason to live again, Haku argued. Well, get yourself a new reason to live, pal, because Zabuza will be going down today, Naruto said as he fought Haku head-on. Naruto summoned his Kage Bunshins to assist him while Sasuke waited to get another opening. Haku managed to avoid a clone and then attacked Naruto, sending him crashing into the ground. Naruto. Sasuke called. Farewell, Haku said as he rained down needles. Naruto, move. Sakura and Tazuna cried. As the needles were about to land on Naruto, he saw a figure throw itself in front of him. It was Hanabi, who was impaled with the Senbon needles. After the jump in, she fell to the ground to get caught by Naruto. Hanabi-chan, please, can you hear me? Na, Naruto-kun. Hanabi strained as her Byakugan deactivated. It'll be okay, Hanabi-chan, just rest now, Naruto said, trying to get her to hold on. Sorry, Naruto-kun, but I couldn't see you die, Hanabi strained. You still have a dream, Naruto-kun, and I want you to be alive to accomplish it. Tell Ne-san and Tu-san I love them, she said before closing her eyes. Hanabi-chan. No, Naruto screamed. Sasuke gritted his teeth in anger while Sakura and Tazuna looked saddened. Haku looks down. I'm sorry. The Senbon were not meant to hit her, but losing comrades is part of our life as ninja, Haku explained. Naruto looked up as tears flowed from his eyes like never before, and both of his irises were red and his pupils were slits which were seen even through his sunglasses with the lenses glowing red. Shut your damn mouth. Naruto screamed as red chakra erupted from his body in a swirling fashion. Deep within the confines of Naruto's mind, Kyuubi sat in his cage, so he lost his mate. Normally he'd still have two back home, but in this case lives are not something that can be replaced as easy as one thinks. Naruto, let's show him what happens when you mess with your friends, Kyuubi said to himself as he poured chakra into his Jinchuriki. What the? Who the hell's chakra is that? Zabuza said as he felt the dark power fueling the area. Naruto. Kakashi said quietly to himself. Naruto's whiskers became more feral and his teeth sharpened, and he looked at Haku, causing all his eyes surrounding him to crack. This chakra. It's not like anything I've ever seen, Haku said to himself before throwing Senbon into his back. Naruto caught the Senbon and breaks them in half. Naruto jumped at Haku in a faster rate and began punching, kicking, and beating the hell out of the ice user, who was finding it harder and harder to keep up with him. This power I never knew could even exist, Haku thought. Naruto used his fire combined with the fox's chakra to deliver extreme fire blasts at Haku, who was losing his strength. Naruto reared his giant fist back and slammed it hard into Haku's face, launching him through the air before he landed hard on the ground and slid to a stop. Haku slowly pushed himself to his feet only to see Naruto flying through the air towards him, fist ready to deal the final blow. I'm sorry, Zabuza, I've failed you. I am no match for this boy, Haku thought. Haku took the powerful punch and fell onto his back. He looked up with bruised eyes and the enraged Naruto looking down on him. Go ahead. I deserve it. Naruto looked back over to Hanabi's motionless body and Sasuke, who was frozen in fear seeing Naruto's power and rage. Naruto looked to the girl he loved. He looked at her for a few seconds before he saw her move slightly, and his rage subsided and he turned to Haku and reared his fist back. Haku shut his eyes awaiting Naruto's final strike. He felt the powerful wind of Naruto's punch ripping through the air, but he felt nothing impact with his face. He opened his eyes to see Naruto's fist had flew past his head and over his left shoulder, and then a burst of red chakra shot from his fist and hit an unnoticed group of thugs with Gato behind them all, knocking a few of them flying into the water over the bridge. Zabuza was getting exhausted as he continued fighting with Kakashi, which didn't go unnoticed by the copycat ninja. You're going to lose, Zabuza, give it up, Kakashi ordered as he started throwing kunai, which lodged into Zabuza's arms and his chest, making him slow down. Why give up? It's the only thing I have to live for, Zabuza called. That damn Mizukage was always screwing me over, making my life hell and causing the only other 6 people I thought of as a family to be disbanded. I was only going to give him what he deserved. He defended his case. Stop trying to take the bridge builder, Kakashi ordered. It's not about Tazuna anymore. This is between me and you. Zabuza said as he swung his sword horizontally at Kakashi, who disappeared and reappeared a few yards behind him, forming hand signs. Using his summoning jutsu, he summoned all his ninja hounds, who lodged their teeth into Zabuza's body to hold him in place. Kakashi formed more hand signs and gathered electricity into his right hand. "I'm sorry, Zabuza, but this time it really is time for you to die." He charged for Zabuza, aiming to nail him in the heart, Reikiri. Before he could reach the mist ninja, a giant icicle nailed the ground between the two, stopping Kakashi's attack. Naruto stared at Haku and then turned back and looked at Hanabi, who was pushing herself to her feet. She's alive." Naruto gasped as his Biju chakra wore off and his face turned to normal. He looked down at Haku. "So you didn't kill her after all?" "I couldn't," Haku admitted. "When I spent that time with you in the woods, I grew envious of you. Like I wanted to be more like you. I couldn't bring myself to be a real killer." "Why are you even doing this?" Naruto asked. "I know you don't like it." "Because Zabuza gave me a purpose," Haku reminded him what he's been saying. "Zabuza couldn't care less about you. He only uses you for your skill." Naruto began and hit a nerve of Haku's that made Haku rethink his actions. "I know you don't think it's a good existence to be nothing more than a tool for someone else's own ambitions of power." Haku couldn't find a word to say to protest. "You can find something else precious to fight for," Naruto continued. "I know what it's like to have been lonely. I found people besides Hanabi-chan to save me from the hell I went through. I love them more than words could describe." Naruto explained, remembering the training he went through with the meta breed, the dates he and his girls were on, and all the times Sarutobi gave him the courage to stay strong. "But what would I have to protect?" Haku asked, looking at the ground. "You'll never know unless you look for people to be your friends and true allies with." Naruto held out his hand as an offering. "What do you say? We can be friends, or I can kill you where you stand. The choice is yours," he said rather cold and bluntly. I. Haku stammered, speechless. Kakashi held up his attack and looked at Zabuza. "Last chance, Zabuza, back down now," Kakashi warned him. Gato had seen enough. "You damn weaklings. I should have known better than to trust you," he shouted at Zabuza. They soon saw Gato with an army of thugs. Zabuza scowled in fury, and he tore through the nin dog's grip, and Kakashi acted quickly and jumped into the air and tried to hit him in the chest, but Zabuza went to his right and Kakashi's attack slammed into the top of his left shoulder. I'm not attacking you. I want him dead," Zabuza said as he glared at Gato past all of his men, before rearing his sword back and charging in at them. Zabuza cleaved through 5 of the gangsters in one swipe of his massive sword, then he ran forward towards Gato. "Stop him, you fools," Gato ordered in fear. Zabuza slashed through gangster after terrified gangster, slicing them, and continuing toward the object of his blind fury. Zabuza tore through 5 more guys before he was inches from Gato's petrified by fear face. Zabuza forcefully grabbed his throat with his free left hand. "I'll show you who's the weakling." He used his sword to decapitate Gato's head, leaving his body lifeless. "He killed our meal ticket," a thug shouted as each of them. He just killed our meal ticket," one said. They were all overly pissed and went to Zabuza only to have one get an arrow in his leg. They all looked ahead and saw Inari, his mom, and all the good people of the Land of Waves holding something to use as a weapon. "We're not going to run and hide from you," Inari began. "Inari," Naruto gasped as the villagers were shouting at the thugs to leave their country. The thugs still wanted to fight, so they attempted to rush them, but no one, not even Inari, flinched. Before the thugs could make it, a firewall blocked them off and it went down, revealing Naruto. "Time to teach you all a lesson," Naruto called as he inhaled a deep breath and unleashed the biggest harpy screech ever heard, sending all the thugs flying backwards and getting their eardrums broken. The people who were behind Naruto covered their own ears to avoid losing their hearing. Naruto ceased his screech and saw the thugs were down. "It's finally over," Kakashi put down his headband, closing his Sharingan eye. "Yeah," Naruto said as he walked to Hanabi being treated by Sakura. He hugged his little girlfriend. "I thought I lost you forever, Hanabi-chan." He shedded some tears. "It's okay, Naruto-kun. I'm okay," Hanabi assured him, and they kissed. Kakashi then looked to Zabuza, who was staring out into nothingness. "You know, Kakashi, I lied to you before about Haku." He began, grabbing the Konoha shinobi's attention. "He isn't just a tool. He's like a son to me. Even though I hid the feelings and such, he's always been precious to me," he said, shedding a tear. "I see," Kakashi replied in understanding. Zabuza turned to everyone, but before he could walk he clutched his heart and fell back. Everyone rushed over to see what was wrong. "Zabuza!" Haku cried. Zabuza let out a faint chuckle. "Guess that fight took more out of me than I thought. I'm sorry this had to happen to you." Kakashi apologized. "Nah, don't be. I kinda figured my death would be soon," Zabuza replied. "Zabuza, please. I don't want you to go," Haku pleaded in sadness. "Haku, you're free now. You're no longer my weapon, but promise me, don't go down the kind of path like me. And remember, I love you, my son," Zabuza said before shutting his eyes and died. "Arigato, Zabuza." Haku sheds a tear. Haku felt Naruto's hand on his shoulder, and next to Naruto was Hanabi. Hanabi was it. "I am sorry for what I did to you." Hanabi hugged him. "It's okay. The point is you learned from your mistake." Everyone on the bridge was in silence for the death of the swordsman who defeated the one man who caused them so much grief, and for the heroes who saved them all. Next morning, the guys were back at Tazuna's and Naruto came out of a room with energy scissors as hands. "It was a success, come on out, Haku." Haku stepped out of the room with a whole new look. He stood there wearing his sandals, icy blue jeans, a dark blue shirt with the kanji for ice embedded on front, and his hair was cut to the length of a regular haircut. And what's more, he didn't look as feminine as he once did. "How do I look?" "Much better," Hanabi said. "Yeah, real better," Sakura added with a hint of pink on her face. One last thing to complete the ensemble, Naruto began as he pulled out an extra pair of sunglasses and tossed them to Haku, who put them on. "Better than wearing a face mask, that's for sure," Naruto said, and the two chuckled. Later on they were all meeting at the bridge that was finally completed, where everyone in the land of waves were bidding them farewell, goodbye and thank you for everything. Tazuna thanked them. "You're welcome," Kakashi says, and his squad nods, especially Naruto. "Naruto," Inari began, "did I do good?" Naruto smirked and pat the boy's head. "You did great, Inari. You showed no fear out there even if the odds were against you all." "Thank you." Inari hugged him while shedding tears of happiness. Haku then turned to the Leaf Ninja. "I want to thank you all for giving me a new purpose," he began, "especially you, Naruto. If we ever meet up again, you know I will have your back," Haku said before vanishing into mist. "What's say we head home?" Kakashi asks, and they all take off. "Now the bridge needs a name. I think I'll call it the Great Naruto Bridge," Tazuna declared. Elsewhere in the city of Dakota, Aben and the Breed were defending themselves from Static and Gear. "Why don't you just leave us alone, hero?" Aben asked, standing on one side with his partners. "Oh yeah, like we're really gonna do that, Aben?" Static says, sending a shock of electricity at Aben, who forced him back. "All right guys, we're gonna ask you again," Gear began. "Who's the kid in that picture you have? And we're gonna tell you again, it's none of your business," Hotstreak replied as he used his fire to attack the two heroes long enough for the Breed to retreat into a shadow portal. "Darn it," Static cursed. "They seemed real sensitive about that boy," Gear noted. "Sensitive or not, if they're keeping that boy captive somewhere, we have to find him," Static reminded him as they flew off. After the mission to the Land of Waves, Naruto and Squad 7 returned to Konoha and gave their report to the Hokage. The Hokage was rather interested in what happened while there, and the turnaround Naruto brought to the people there. Soon everyone was dismissed and Hanabi went back to the Hyuga compound, where she would tell her father and sister. A few days after, Naruto was informed that the Breed went back home to take care of something. So not bothering about it, he went out for a walk, where he came across Tenten, who smothered him with kisses. "Geez Tenten, I appreciate your show of emotion, but come on, you're a human, not a dog." Naruto chuckled while cleaning his face. "Sorry Naruto-kun, it's just this is the first time I've seen you since you got back. I was lonely without you." Tenten pouted. "I missed you too, so what's going on?" Naruto asks while fixing his sunglasses. "Well, Guy Sensei cancelled our training for the day. He said there was something he had to take care of," Tenten explained. "Funny, I saw Asuma and Kurenai heading someplace too. It must be an important meeting or something," Naruto noted. Well, rather than listen to Lee ramble on about youth and watch Neji just rant on about destiny and fate, I thought I'd come looking for you, Tenten continued, so come, why don't we get some ramen? I'm with ya. Naruto cheered as he dragged Tenten along, skipping and hopping there. Meanwhile, across town, various Jonin and Chunin were in the Hokage's office where the meeting was taking place. Most of the Jonin there were the ones in charge of Genin squads, the most particular of which happened to be the ones in charge of this year's rookie teams. They were currently discussing the upcoming Chunin exams and who would partake in it. Kakashi, Asuma, and Kurenai, being Jonin to the rookies of the recently graduated academy, recommended their squads, much to Haruka's protest about them not being ready, but was outvoted by the three Jonin's words. Well, all right then. Another matter is my own select Genin whom I've allowed into the Chunin exams without the need of a squad, so I Hiruzen Sarutobi vow on my name that Naruto Uzumaki is ready for the Chunin exams. Suddenly all the complaints of hate bombarded the Hokage. Enough. Hiruzen called. You all should be ashamed of yourselves. Minato's child is the only one left of Namikaze and the Uzumaki clans, and we will honor his and Kushina's wishes by letting their own son enter the Chunin exams. With that all the others backed down, but Haruka still felt bad. Naruto was his closest student. If all's said and done, you're dismissed. The Hokage says, and all the Chunin and Jonin leave. Meanwhile Naruto and Tenten had their ramen, and decided to take a walk, noticing some squared rock was following them. Naruto pretended to ignore it until the time was right. You know your way of camouflage is poor. I mean square rocks. Come on. Naruto called to the person following them. Suddenly the fake rock was lifted up, revealing three kids wearing goggles on their heads. One Naruto recognized as the Hokage's grandson, the second one was a girl with red hair into pigtails, and the third was a boy with glasses who appeared to have snot dripping out of his nose. So you found us out. Just what I expected from my greatest adversary. The Hokage's grandson said. I recognize you, you're the Hokage's grandson who gave me a lot of grief. Naruto replied. Guilty as charged. The boy rubbed the back of his head, but you can call me Konohamaru, and here with me are my pals Moegi and Udon. He announced, and the two waved, and together were known as the Konohamaru Corps. Konohamaru Corps? Tenten asked. We're still working on a name. Moegi explained. Listen, Naruto is it. Sorry about accusing you, I wasn't in my right mind. And to make it up to you, I want you to be our boss. Konohamaru declared. Naruto raises an eyebrow. Your boss? That's right. I find you to be the only one responsible to be our leader. Konohamaru replied. Well, how about that, Naruto-kun? Even the kiddies view you as a leader already. Tenten teases Naruto. Konohamaru looks to Tenten and back to Naruto. So boss, who's the babe, huh? Is she your girlfriend or something? She's got a pretty face, though she could use more in the rack and caboose department, ya know. Naruto froze stiff, feeling like that kid just signed a death warrant. Slowly, the blonde looked to Tenten, seeing her face was many shades of angered red. Her hand reached into her pocket and pulled out a kunai. The blonde turned back to the Konohamaru Corps, and looked them dead in the eye. Run, like crazy, now, was all he said. The kids took off with Naruto close behind, with Tenten on his heels with pure killer intent radiating from her. The kids and Naruto ran for all they had as kunai and shuriken came flying at them from behind. She's insane. Konohamaru cried. Split up. Now, Naruto called as the kids followed, with Udon and Moegi going right and Naruto and Konohamaru going left. Unfortunately for Naruto, Tenten went left too. You better run like hell, Uzumaki. Tenten shouted as Naruto narrowly dodged another kunai. Why are you chasing me? I didn't say anything, Naruto cried. You were thinking about what he said. Tenten shouted, throwing more kunai. Never. I don't find anything wrong with your body to need improvement, you're perfect. Naruto cried as he ran. I should hope so. Tenten replies, still throwing stuff. Konohamaru turned around to look back, just in time to run straight into another person. Naruto skidded to a stop, as did Tenten. Before them was a boy and a girl, both shinobi, judging from the headbands on them. The boy was wearing solid black. He had purple paint lines across his face and a hood over his head that looked like cat ears. Attached to his back was a strange bandaged-up object. The girl had blonde hair done up in 4 pigtails. She wore a short purple dress outfit, with fishnets underneath. Strapped across her back was a large fan. The boy reached down and picked up Konohamaru, glaring at him with a smirk across his face. "That kinda hurt, ya little snot face," the boy in black said. "Will you just let him go, Konkuro?" The blonde girl beside him said. "You're just going to piss you-know-who off." "Look, we were just fooling around," Tenten said apologetically. "Please put him down." "In a minute," the boy in black replied. "I just wanna have some fun with him while we're waiting." He looked back to Konohamaru and grinned. "Besides, I'm allergic to brats, so I should get rid of this one here, and then I'll get you too." Naruto reached behind his back and suddenly the boy in black felt something tap his shoulder. "Temari, what are you?" The boy looks back, seeing Naruto's arm sticking out of a shadow portal that slugged him right in the face, causing him to drop Konohamaru, who runs to his friends. "God, that hurt." The guy rubbed his face. "Maybe next time you'll think before messing with us," Naruto says, readying energy knife arms. "Why, you little..." The guy reaches for the bandaged thing on his back until, "That's enough," an eerie voice interrupted them. Everyone paused and looked up towards a tree to see a red-haired, green-eyed, pale-skinned boy standing upside down on a tree limb. He had thick, black circles around his eyes, a giant gourd strapped to his back, and the kanji for love tattooed on his forehead. "Konkuro, you're a disgrace to our entire village." "Gaara, I can explain," Konkuro begged. "Shut up, or I'll kill you," he replied. "To think that you would get into a fight with a bunch of kids." "But Gaara, they bumped into me first. Konkuro began but was cut off as Gaara simply glared at him, causing him to shut up immediately. He glared back down at Naruto and Tenten and jumped down the tree, landing on the ground gracefully. He turned around and looked at the two Konoha genin before walking back towards Temari and Konkuro. "I apologize for the trouble my siblings caused," he said as they began to leave. "Yo, wait a minute," Naruto called. "What is it?" Gaara asked as they stopped. "Judging from those headbands, you three are Suna shinobi. Aren't you a little far from home?" Naruto asked curiously. "He's right, shinobi from other nations aren't allowed here unless they have proper authorization," Tenten added. "Well, we have authorization," the girl named Temari said as she pulled out a passport. "We're here to take the Chunin exams by order of our father, the Yondaime Kazekage." "It's time for those again?" Naruto asked. "That explains where all the Jonins were going in such a hurry today." "So Konoha's hosting the Chunin exams this year, huh? No surprise there," Tenten added. The three turned to walk away again. However, this time Naruto called them back again. "Hold on, yo, identify yourself." Temari was the first to turn around and looked hopeful. "You mean me?" "Well, I was going for the redhead, but yeah, while you're at it," Naruto replied. "Well, I'm Temari, and there's my brother Konkuro, and my youngest brother," she began until Gaara stepped forward. "I am Sabaku no Gaara. And I'm curious about yours as well. Name's Uzumaki Naruto." Naruto introduced himself. The two stared at each other, both lost in thoughts. This guy, there's something off about him, Naruto thought. This guy, I sense something brewing in him. Could he be like me? Gaara thought. Then Gaara spoke. "I look forward to meeting you again, Naruto Uzumaki." "So do I, G," Naruto replied. So the Suna genin took off, leaving the two Konoha genin and three kids to themselves. "Those three are weird," Tenten said. "No kidding," Konohamaru agreed. Naruto felt his connection with Kyuubi shift. He knew the fox had something to say. "Gotta bail, guys. Need to see someone about a thing," Naruto said, vanishing into a shadow portal. "See guys, isn't that the greatest move you even seen?" Konohamaru asked his friends, who looked amazed. Naruto came out of his portal back in his room at his mansion. "Okay Kyuubi, what's up? Tell me, Naruto, what your impression of that Gaara boy?" Kyuubi asked. "Well, he seemed totally weird. I mean, threatening his sibling with death, and those eyes, what does he ever sleep? I mean, talk about insomniac," Naruto answered. "That is no ordinary insomnia, Naruto." "What do you mean?" Naruto asked in confusion. "Only one creature can cause someone to have that much insomnia without going totally insane, my old pal Ikibi Shukaku," Kyuubi explained. "Ikibi, you mean another Biju?" Naruto asked. "Yes. Shukaku is the most insane and unstable of the Biju," Kyuubi began. He was originally sealed inside a tea kettle, and was obviously practiced on people in Suna. I guess this Gaara was the only success they had. Shukaku provokes insomnia in his host vessels. Should they sleep, he will eat away at their personality until the being that host was ceases to exist. When the host is awake, Shukaku's powers are limited. However, if the host ever falls asleep, the Shukaku's true power will be unleashed in all its fury. Sounds serious. It is. Naruto thought about this. He felt that Gaara seemed more like him than just being a Jinchuriki, but the feeling of being alone and neglected. The very next day in the afternoon, Naruto was called to see the Hokage. He came out of a portal and into the Hokage office. "What's happening, Gigi?" Naruto asked. "Well, Naruto, I've called you here because there's something I want to give you." The old man began as he handed the boy a form. "Hold on. This is an entrance form for the Chunin exams." Naruto gasped. "That's right. I got acceptance from several of the daimyos of the nations to allow you entry without a team." Sarutobi explained. "Gigi, you are the greatest," Naruto said, and the old Kage chuckled. "I'm glad this makes you happy. Though I feel I should tell you something, sir." Naruto began catching the Hokage's attention. "And what is that?" "The Yondaime Kage's 3 kids are entering this exam, and one of them I've got my eye on," Naruto explained. "And who's that?" the Hokage asked. "His youngest son Gaara. I got a tip from the Kyuubi he houses the Ikibi Shukaku," Naruto explained. That finally caught the old mont's attention more so, another Jinchuriki. "Yes, and I have a feeling he knows how to use his demon's power far greater than I do of Kyuubi's chakra," Naruto said. "My advice to you is be wary of him when the exams start. He could be liable to kill anyone just for the heck of it." "I understand, thank you for this information, Naruto." The Hokage thanked him. "But that's not all, Gigi. I got this gut feeling Gaara is the least of worries, but as if someone or something else is gonna use the Chunin exams to their advantage," Naruto said, which got the Hokage looking as white as a ghost. "Well, anyway, I'll see you around, Gigi." Naruto took off into a portal. The old Hokage sat there at his desk pondering of what Naruto said, as a vision of yellow eyes flashed in his mind. "It can't be," he said to himself. It was the night before the Chunin exams. Naruto had just finished his shower and was in his bathrobe. He stepped over to his bed and got in it. "If I make Chunin, that'll bring me one step closer to becoming Hokage just like Dad. Though I wonder what other kinds of people will be entering this exam." He wondered, but would eventually find out tomorrow. When morning came, Naruto got up and got ready before heading to the Ninja Academy. He entered and made his way, reaching a floor that had several groups of genin standing outside of a door. The said door was being blocked by 2 shinobi, who were refusing to let anyone else in. 2 of the people that caught Naruto's eyes the most were Lee and Tenten. Lee was on the floor, rubbing a bruise on the side of his face, while Tenten was by his side, checking to see if he was all right. Naruto frowned as he saw one of them was about to slug Tenten, who pleaded to let them inside. Naruto quickly appeared in front, catching the guy's fist. "Strike, my friend, and I won't hesitate to kill you," Naruto warned him. "Sure. Like you can really," the guy began, only to get kneed in the gut by Naruto. He dropped to the floor and his partner tried to help him up. Naruto looked to Tenten. "You okay, Ten-chan?" "Better now, Naruto-kun," she said as he kissed her cheek. "Yo, bushy brow, you okay?" He turned to Lee. "Never better, Naruto." "Never mind, the stunt just pulled," a voice called. Everyone turned to see Sasuke smirking with his team of Hanabi and Sakura right behind him. "I suggest you drop the genjutsu on the door and let us through," Sasuke ordered. Suddenly the sign on the door changed from 301 to 201. Everyone was shocked, all but Naruto and Hanabi. Naruto stood with an eye twitching beneath his sunglasses. "Idiot, do you have any idea what you just did?" Naruto asked, trying hard not to lash out. "I got us all past this first part," Sasuke replied arrogantly. "You dumbass," Naruto shouted. This was to weed out the weaker competition, but no, you'd had to show off your stupid supposed superiority. Now all you did was give people more competition. He continued but cooled down. "But no matter. I'll get rid of them for you," Sasuke growled, while Hanabi giggled. They soon see Lee approach them and present himself in front of Sakura. "You're Sakura, correct? I am Rock Lee. Become my girlfriend. I will protect you with my life until the day I die." Sakura looked grossed out, but replied, "No thanks, you're too weird." Lee let his head down in defeat. I am weird. Forget about it, Lee. She wouldn't know a devoted guy if it stood in front of her. Naruto comforted him. Sakura growled at his insult, but Naruto ignored her and kissed Hanabi's face. Hinata-chan with you? He asked. I haven't seen her since this morning, Hanabi replied. Don't worry, I'll be waiting for you all. Naruto walked away until he spotted Neji looking at him. Neji, he said plainly. Naruto. Neji squinted his eyes. They watched as Naruto walked down the hall to the third floor. Soon everyone began leaving and the two guards went behind the door they were guarding and revealed to be Izumo and Kotetsu, the two known pair of Chunin always seen doing odd jobs for the Hokage. You okay, Kotetsu? Izumo asked. Yeah, Kotetsu strained. Naruto sure knows how to hurt a guy. Maybe you overdid it, Izumo replied. Naruto finally made it away from the candidates waiting outside the fake door, and stopped to look below him on a lower level to see Lee and Sasuke having a standoff. So bushy brow against emo ass. Let's see how Sasuke manages against someone who got his strength and speed through hard work. Naruto watched. Naruto watched at how Lee was able to show up Sasuke even though the Uchiha had his Sharingan. Naruto noticed Lee using Konoha Kage Buyu, and caught on what was coming next. Lee, what are you doing? That move is forbidden, he thought. Naruto was about to step in, until he saw Gai's sensei step in, thus stopping his student. What a relief. Naruto says to himself. After Gai gave his word of apology and sent his student off to join his team, he watched as Sasuke chuckled to himself on how he couldn't wait to see what else is new. As the three walked off to head for the room, Naruto smirked. Looks like it's my time to join them, he thought as he got down from the catwalk and followed behind them. Meanwhile, inside a huge room, Sakura, Hanabi, and Sasuke saw it was loaded with dozens of ninja, all there for the exams as well. Some of the other ninja had scowls and frowns, giving off negative and scary vibes. But among those people were the remaining squads of Shikamaru, Ino, and Choji, along with Kiba, Shino, and Hinata, while in the crowd of candidates were Tenten's team, including the Sand Genin as well. As always, Sakura and Ino were in quarrel over Sasuke while Hinata looked around worried. Hanabi, where's Naruto-kun? She asked. He was downstairs a while ago. He said he'd meet us here, Hanabi answered. Dobi probably got lost. He's so stupid, Sasuke replied. Got that right, Ino agreed. As the Hoigas were about to object, the doors to the room flung open and Naruto walked in slowly while playing his flute music, causing everyone in the room to focus their attention on him. When he stopped in his place still playing, he turns to the other genin he went to the academy with. Naruto? Choji asked. Naruto stopped playing and looked at them. Well, we meet again. Well, now it's a reunion, Kiba began. I was actually thinking you weren't going to make it, Naruto. But you'd like that, wouldn't you, Kiba? So that way you wouldn't have to face me of all people. Naruto smirked. Hey, I'm not afraid to fight you, Kiba growled, but relaxes knowing he said that to make him lose it. Even you're in this too, Naruto. Now I know it's troublesome. Shikamaru sighed. Everything's troublesome for you, Shikamaru. Naruto replied, and Hinata rushed up to the blonde and kissed him. I missed you, Naruto-kun. Naruto smirked and kissed her back. I missed you too. Hey you guys. A voice called. They turned around and saw a Konoha genin walk towards them. He was wearing a pair of glasses, with a gray shirt underneath a purple no-sleeved shirt, and purple pants. He also wore gray fingerless gloves and shinobi sandals. He ran a hand through his silver hair as he smiled at them. You're the genin rookies fresh out of the academy, right? Yeah. Naruto answered. I thought so. Word of advice from a guy with experience, don't draw attention to yourselves, especially in a place like this. Good advice, but who are you? Hanabi asked. My name's Kabuto Yakushi. It's nice to meet you all. Kabuto, how long have you taken this exams? Hinata asked. This will be my 7th. Kabuto answered. Wow, you must know quite a lot, Sakura said, feeling impressed. Yup, you could say that. Kabuto replied. Anything else we should know about? Choji asked. Well, I could give you some handy hints with my ninja info cards, which I use to keep track of the Chunin exams from all the times I've taken it. Kabuto pulled out a deck of blank cards. They're all blank. Ino noticed. Yeah, but when I applied chakra to them all the data appears, just to keep spies from collecting valuable data. Can your cards show on each individual applicant? Sasuke asked. As a matter of fact, yes, Kabuto smirked. I can't promise the data is flawless, but I have data on just about every applicant. Give me what you got on Rock Lee and Naruto Uzumaki from Konoha, Sasuke requested. What? Ino gasped. Why do you want to know about that idiot Sasuke-kun? Ino asked. I'm quite curious too, Sasuke, Naruto began, but if you want to know about me, why not just ask me directly, or are you afraid you might come onto me? He smirked. Sasuke frowned at his claim. Shut up. Did you call Sasuke-kun gay? Ino and Sakura asked firmly. Actually, you two just did, not me, Naruto replied. By the way, Kabuto, I also got someone for you to find. Give me what you got on Sabaku no Gaara. You guys know their names and villages? Well, that's no fun for me, Kabuto said and drew 3 cards from his deck. First is Rock Lee. He is 1 year older than all of you. His squad leader is Might Guy, alongside of his teammates Neji Hyuga and Tenten. His mission experience is 20 D ranks and 11 C ranks. His taijutsu skills are amazing, however his other methods are weak. Everyone processed the data as Kabuto laid down the next card. Next up is Naruto Uzumaki. Second last name is Namikaze, and known as the son of the Yondaime Hokage Minato Namikaze, that got everyone besides Hinata and Hanabi gasping. He currently is a special selected genin of the Hokage. He has completed 55 D-ranked missions, and 1 A-ranked mission. Very unusual for a first-year genin, mind you. He had acquired very unusual powers from 9 superpowered individuals whose names I have not even recorded, along with his shinobi skills being able to use some Jonin-level jutsu. He achieved the title of Rookie of the Year when he graduated. His skills and strengths during the academy years were only rivaled by that of Sasuke Uchiha, Kabuto said. Naruto smirked and looked at Kabuto. You know what surprises me to hear that you know all about this, Kabuto? Naruto asked. Either there's more to you than what you say and appear to be, or you've really done your homework on your competition. Everyone looked at Naruto wondering what he meant, until Kabuto cleared his throat and put down another card. Now for Sabaku no Gaara. He did his thing and all of what he had on Gaara appeared. Mission experience 8 C ranks, and 1 B rank. The only info I got on him is he survived every mission without getting a single scratch on him. The genin gasped at the thought of doing a B rank without getting hurt. Naruto closed his eyes and talked to Kyuubi. Yo Kyuubi, any of that has to do with Shukaku? Yes, with Shukaku inside him, Sand can protect him while Gaara himself would have the ability to also manipulate it at will. Sand can really provide as the ultimate defense. At least that I know of. I see. Naruto thought as he. Suddenly snapping them all out of their thoughts was a large cloud of smoke. As it cleared, they saw a large man wearing a large black trench coat, a pair of black gloves and black boots. He wore a gray button-up shirt, gray slacks, and a headband combined with a bandana tied on his head. His most standout feature were the large scars on his face. All right, everyone shut up, he ordered. Now listen up. My name is Ibiki Morino and I shall be proctor for the first stage of the Chunin exams. So Ibiki Morino, huh? Good choice this year, Gigi, Naruto thought. Now form a line and you can collect your written tests, he ordered. Written tests? Naruto thought. Why do they always have to start exams with written portions? He decided to let it be as they all took a test and were given assigned seats. Naruto ended up being close to the middle. Hanabi was in the far left of the room in the front, and Hinata was stuck in the back of the room. Bummer, 2 of my ladies sitting away from me. What, you gonna have withdrawal or something? No, I just get lonely when I'm not near one of them, Naruto thought back. Well kid, you just got your wish. Kyuubi chuckled. Naruto turned to see Tenten taking her seat next to him. Naruto-kun? Tenten asked. Well, at least I get to sit beside someone I know. I bet you were hoping you'd sit next to me, he replied with a smirk. Let's do our best, okay? She asked. You bet, Naruto replied. Hey, Blondie. Ibiki shouted, grabbing Naruto's attention. Shut up already. I'm gonna go over the rules to the first test, and I refuse to repeat myself. These rules are very important, so pay attention because I'm not going to answer any questions. So they listened in on the rules about the test being 10 questions and each one was worth 10 points. For each question wrong they would lose a point, and if they get a 0 then not only would the one member be forced to leave but their whole squad as well. To make it worse, sentinels were stationed off to the side to keep an eye out for any cheaters, and those who were caught would get 2 points deducted from their tests. When the rules were done, the test began. Naruto sighed as he turned his paper over to do the test, only to look appalled at the questions. Wait a minute, how do they expect genin like us to know questions as difficult as these? Is he trying to trick us or something? That's exactly what he intends to do, Kyuubi thought. What do you mean? I'm saying he wants you to cheat, without getting caught. I think I'm catching on. This is to test our abilities of gathering information without getting caught. And we have a winner. Now I got to find someone to cheat off of. He looked, seeing an applicant who was skimming through it like it was cakewalk, perfect. He then rested his head down on the table, pretending to fall asleep. Suddenly unaware to Ibiki and the sentinels was a small shadow portal appearing on the ceiling with Naruto's face looking through it, seeing the answer his target was writing. After studying them, he pulled his face back and off the table to begin writing. When he finished, he decided to kick back and relax while watching Ibiki throw out multiple applicants and their teams that they caught cheating. Soon Ibiki looked, seeing the remaining teams, and spoke. Okay, now I will give you the 10th question, but take note that this is optional. Optional? Temari asked. Yes, but if you don't take it, you and your teammates will automatically fail the exams. Ibiki said as everyone started getting outraged, until he continued. If you choose to attempt to answer the final question, and get it wrong, then you and your team will still fail the test. Also, you will be banned from ever taking the Chunin exams again. Everyone got more distraught by the minute with all this pressure Ibiki was laying on them. So what will it be? Suddenly many applicants were wishing to withdraw and were forced to take their teammates with them. Naruto watched and knew too well what this was about before slamming his hands on the desk. Hell no. He shouted, grabbing the class's attention. There's no way in hell you're gonna scare me away from completing the Chunin exams. I came here because I knew I could do it and I'm sticking to it. So all I have to say is bring on the 10th question. Naruto's fellow rookies, especially his 3 lady friends, smiled at his confidence and were compelled to stay as well. Same said for other nations' applicants. Ibiki, seeing no one else was leaving, smiled and thought, Minato-sama, he really has inherited your spirit. He then announced, congratulations to those who are left. You've just completed the first phase of the Chunin exams. Everyone just sat there in confusion. We're done? Ino asked. But the 10th question? Hanabi wondered. It never existed. Ibiki chuckled until something broke through the window and opened up, revealing a banner with a woman with a fishnet bodysuit and tan coat, announced. All right brats, listen up. I'm the chief proctor for the second phase of the Chunin exams, Anko Mitarashi. Everyone looked incredibly shocked while Naruto was unable to keep a straight face. Must resist blood coming out of nose, he thought slowly. Ibiki sighed. Anko, can you ever not be this early? Anko groaned in awkwardness until she saw all the remaining applicants. You passed all these teams, Ibiki? You're getting soft, she warned him. Perhaps, but then again we just might have better candidates compared to last year, he answered. Anko sighed as she addressed the applicants. Tomorrow you'll be given the location of the next stage. There I'll explain the rules and details. I'll see you then. She left. So every single team that was left took their leave out of the academy, and outside the place Hinata, Tenten, and Hanabi met up with Naruto. Naruto-kun, the girls cried. Hi girls. He greeted them and received a group hug. Can you believe we passed the first part of the exams? Tenten asked. It's just awesome, Hinata added. The coolest, Hanabi cheered. Yeah, it sure is. Naruto agreed, and Naruto-kun, Hinata began. Yes, that speech you gave back there was amazing, Hinata said. It made me want to stay and face it head on as well, Hanabi put in. Same with me. Tenten agreed. Well, I do have a way with words. Naruto rubbed the back of his head. The best kind of words. Hanabi hugged Naruto's side and the boy looked down on her, smiling. Listen, Naruto-kun. Why don't we go back to your place for a bit? Tenten asked with a purr while batting her eyelashes. Sure. Naruto answered nervously as he opened a portal and the 4 walked into it. While watching from the academy window was Ibiki, who had an amusing smile on his face. Yup, more like Minato than we know. He let out a chuckle. The end. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember to subscribe and like this video. See you in the next part.